what we can look forward to. It's Harmanpreet Kaur leading this team. There's a lot that's going on in Pakistan cricket. Amita Dar has held on to the captaincy, and she will lead this team at the back of disappointing results in England. As far as India go, another opportunity to tick some boxes ahead of that big one in Bangladesh, which is the Women's T20 World Cup. Just a reminder of what we're expecting over the next 10 days. India and Pakistan later this evening. Group A action on the opening day. And we've got Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, who the only other team to have won this competition. Otherwise, it's been all India. And we can't wait to see more of Malaysia and Thailand as well. Let's educate some of our viewers who may not know that this is India's tournament. I say that with great humility, barring one blip for Bangladesh, and you were responsible for the foundation laid. Are there red hot favourites for this one too?
Yes, of course. I think India definitely boost a lot of players who are match winners. Earlier, of course, there were just a couple of them, but now we can talk about even bowlers who are match winners like Pooja Vastrakar, who's done really well against South Africa at home in terms of bowling. Then you have the great spinners, whether it is Asha Joy or Shriyanka Patil. This young girl has really impressed all of us, especially in this tournament. And of course, pretty batting heavy, you know, the depth that India has. I think one of the best in the tournament.
Yeah, she was just saying that a couple of match winners only. She's one of them. Right. Let's have a look at the Nepal team. They've decided to have a bowl first in this opening game. Back in the Women's Asia Cup after a gap of 8 years. And that's how things step up. You can watch out for Rubina. She might open the batting with Sita Magar at the top. And you have the captain, Indu Parma, experienced player. We can't wait to see more of how Nepal go. And they'll at least have the advantage, perhaps, for their nerves to settle with them bowling first. There might be nerves, I'm guessing. Not a bad thing, perhaps, for Nepal to bowl first. And she told Marina Iqbal, 100 plus would not be a bad score. 100 plus could be anything. What do you think is a good score? You've seen the pitch.
I think about 120, 130 is par. So if they can keep them under 100, they'll be doing very well. That being said, it all comes down to how they deal with this wind. And if they can manage to get the UAE batters to hit into the wind and maybe take some catches, then they could end up keeping them under that 100. Who knows?
Yeah, it's about 30 kilometers an hour, the wind right now in Dambola. Very quickly, favourites for this one, Mithali, UAE expected to win?
Well, yes, I think so, because UAE has batters who can really do well, and as well as the bowlers. Nepal, whereas I think that pretty heavily dependent on their key players who are all-rounders.
Yeah, they really have to put a nail down on us. It is that windy right now. We can't wait. Thank you very much, Mithali and Izzy. Nepal, UAE very shortly. But later this evening, watch out for India taking on Pakistan. The greatest rivalry resumes in the Women's Asia Cup. Of course, India have a record that is formidable against Pakistan, the women's game. That is later this evening. Group A action. But we are all set to get things underway with Nepal and UAE. Live action coming up.
One, two, three, four. Thank you.
Asia Cup is a big tournament. Competition is very tough.
It is going to be a game changer.
It always has that extra bit of a josh.
Biggest tournament in Asia for women's cricket.
हमेशा यही चाहते हैं कि बस इस दफ़ा ये ट्रॉफी ज़रूर लेनी है.
तो यही सोचेंगे कि टू डू वेल इन द एशिया कप एंड विन इट.
Beautiful cricket coming to you from a beautiful country. We're taking a look at the past champions in the Women's Asia Cup, and one thing that you get to see there is total domination by Team India. It was only once in the year 2018 when India just did not win the title. It is all India, right from the top to the bottom right here. Started in 2004 and the domination continues down till 2022. We are in Dambula and we are ready to welcome you with the 9th edition of Women's Asia Cup right here. When you talk about the big one, it is played on the field, it runs in the veins, it is a certified blockbuster. You will get to see a lot of swag, both the captains with the trophy, and there is more to it than meets the eye. A lot of fire will be on offer when they take on. It's going to be India versus Pakistan, and it's going to be the second game in the evening. We are promising you a double header today right here from Dambula. Big warm welcome on your favorite network, Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. Talk about the first match now. You talk about UAE and you talk about Nepal. Nepal has never won a single game in the Women's Asia Cup. They participated twice. Once they played 3 games, lost 3. The other time they played 5, they lost all 5. But it's a very good side. They're carrying a lot of hopes. They're looking very positive. It is reflecting in the body language. And they are here to turn the tide. And we saw both captains, Asia Oza and Indu Burma, with the trophy as well. Nice to see smiles on their faces as well before they meet on the ground. Nepal versus UAE. This is going to be the first installment of this doubleheader today. Big warm welcome, 9th edition Women's Asia Cup 2024. Nepal locking horns with UAE. UAE, mind you, they have 1 win under their belt against Malaysia. And when we look at the groups, it's actually 2 groups, mind you. 8 countries will compete for the Women's Asia Cup 2024 over 10 days. Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh and India, joined by Thailand, Nepal, UAE and Malaysia. But they've divided in 2 groups. India, Pakistan, Nepal, UAE. Group A, Group B, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Malaysia and Thailand. Top 2 teams from each group will qualify for the semi-finals. Toss happened a short while back. Marina Iqbal was right there. Nepal have won the toss and they've chosen to field. And yes, when you talk about it, it is all set. They're all ready. And someone who has sprinted very well from the turf right here to the comm box. Marina joins me in the comm box. Marina, take us through the scene, please.
Well, thank you for the kind words. Yes, UAE, they have played a lot of matches and I think the captain herself has an immaculate role to play. Again with Renata and also Kavisha, they have important role to play with Rita as well. They've got decent and balanced side as we talk about the batting and bowling, and I think they look pretty confident.
Yeah, spoken to a Pakistan great. Let's bring in India's Jay Mithali Raj joins us. Captain, take us through.
I think Nepal is also a young side, but they do have some experience there, whether it is Rubina, Burma or even Shrestha. So I think these girls have played decent cricket. They have about 50 T20s under them.
Yeah, Isha Oza, talk about her. Talk about the fact joined more centuries in T20 internationals for her. Talk about Tisha Satish, who's the player of the match in UAE's only Asia Cup victory. And talk about Vaishnavi Mahesh as well. And key players, those are the key players we are talking about. Isha Oza there, Tisha Satish there, Vaishnavi Mahesh, 82 T20 international wickets. I spoke to Kavisha a short while back and she was very, very confident and she told us she's here to make a name for herself. Kavisha, you're playing for UAE, you're born, brought up in Sri Lanka. Sweet home coming for you?
Indeed. I mean, it's, I don't know, it's a surreal moment for me playing back home, and my family is going to be coming over. So it's a pretty great feeling for me. And like for me, this is the first time like I'm representing UAE in Sri Lanka. So it's a great feeling.
Okay, so they always say battles are won not in the battlefield, but in the practice arena. How well prepared are you as a team for this one?
We are very well prepared. We came early. We had our pre-tour in Colombo, which was technically my home city. And then we are very well prepared. We are all gelling in as a team, and everyone's just pumped up to be playing the opening game for the Asia Cup.
Any personal milestones or goals you've set for yourself in this Women's Asia Cup?
There are many, but I'm going to keep it close to my chest so that I don't want to, mess it up. I'm a bit superstitious in that way, but there are kind of few. Obviously, playing well, performing the best I can with the bat, ball, and the field, and just putting on a show to the home crowd.
Okay, go all the best. Go hard.
Thank you.
All right, then we talk about their rivals today. They've participated twice in the tournament. They don't have a single victory to their name. First, when they participated, 3 losses out of 3, then 5 losses out of 5. Now, when you talk about Indu Burma, appointed captain of Nepal in November 2023, one of the stalwarts also of that. And you talk about that, regrouping is one thing, staying united is one thing. Alone you can do so little. Together you can do so much. Indu Burma, talk about Rubina Chetri, talk about the big names there. Rubina leads Nepal in so many metrics. Most matches by a player, most sixes by a player, highest individual score of 118 versus Maldives 2024. Yes, this is a team which is filled with talent, searching for their first win. And I spoke to Rubina Chetri a short while back, and this is what she had to offer. Rubina Chetri, it's the 3rd Women's Asia Cup for you. How excited are you?
Definitely, I'm very exciting. Representing the country, it's definitely a proud moment for me. So I would definitely want to perform and give a good shot for my country.
If we go down memory lane, if we turn the pages of history, your team has participated twice, not even a single victory so far. Are you as a team prepared differently this time around?
Yeah, definitely. Those days were pretty tough when the Cricket Association was banned in Nepal, and still we managed to come to the Asia Cup. But now Cricket Association has given us more exposure, more camp days for the preparation, for the plans, and every boys team has come as well, and the men's team A head coach has also come for our training session, and everyone is helping for women's to go far beyond this level. So hopefully we can do a good sort over here.
Well said. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Any personal milestones you've chosen for yourself?
No, it's just like I want to play best, and I prepared very hardly to score runs for my team. So I would like to score runs, and that has to win the match for my country. So no any personal milestone, just I want to win the matches for my country.
All the best to you and to your team as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, outwalk the 2 umpires for the game. Marina, Mithali with me in the comm box. Marina, start with you. What do you expect from this one?
Well, it should be a cracker of a game because Nepal, when you talk to them, they have that belief coming into this game that they can do wonders. And when you look at UAE, I mean, they're all sorted. They are more experienced in terms of playing better cricket than Nepal. But on the other side, Nepal, I think that belief, and we just heard what Rita said, that they want to win games. I think that it's going to be a really good game for them.
Tali, it's not always the will to win, always the will to prepare to win. Both teams look very well prepared here.
Yes, I'm sure, because this is also one of a tournament where both the teams would want to come and stamp the authority that they are ready for this big league. And when they're going to compete against teams like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, clearly they definitely have to increase or probably develop that standard where they can compete. And today's game, I'm sure, is going to be a good game. It will be interesting to see which team is going to counter the conditions on the field, because it's definitely very different to their conditions at their home.
Yeah, we've seen the pitch report, we've seen the toss as well. Marina, you were at the toss, you were there taking a close look at the surface as well. What do you make of that?
I think it's a beautiful surface and probably might aid in terms of batting. It looks like a hard, solid track, and I'm hoping that the ball comes onto the bat nicely. But probably with the wind, you have to take that in regard, even as a bowling unit, because one side clearly has an advantage. So you can exploit that area. So overall, I think it's going to be a good surface.
All right, we're all set here, mind you. 8 countries will compete for the Women's Asia Cup 2024 over the next 10 days. Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh and India are joined by Thailand, Nepal, UAE and Malaysia, all of whom qualified by topping their respective groups in ACC Women's Premier Cup. And that's the reason we are here. The lineup is ready. We are ready. The first ball is about to be bowled. Nepal have won the toss and they've chosen to field. Talk about Tirtha Satish, 67 matches for her. 1353 runs, decent average. A lot depends for her. Now, whenever you speak about the key players for that side, you always speak about Kavisha, always speak about Esha, always speak about Vaishnavi Mahesh as well.
Yes, here UAE put to bat. There's Tirtha Satish, her numbers. She has an experience of 67 matches, a decent average, a healthy strike rate, I would say, and she has 850, so she definitely has knows how to open the innings for their side, and she definitely knows for the fact that it's very important when you're playing your first game, you as a batter need to give a good start to your team.
Yeah, and Kavita is also ready to make a good start for her team. It's a 6-3 field that she'll be bowling to the right-hander with. 2 players that you can take out. One's a third man, the other one's at long leg. Traditional field, very traditional field. You also have a slip in place. Nice to see that when a fast bowler gets that sort of a cushion right at the start. Marina smiling by my side. Well bowled, right on the money.
That's what Nepal does the best. They keep things so simple. They know that they don't have to be very flamboyant about it. Just keep the line and length within the stumps and just push the batters to do something different. And I think it's a good start. They might get some exaggerated movement.
Also, we get to see a lot of cheer happening in the center. Primarily, it all starts from the wicket keeper. That is from where it's distributed to the other fielders. Defensively played. Good start for the bowling side, Mithali.
Well, yes, 2 balls right on the trot, making the batter play. And it is very good that she has a wider slip. Can see that not much of a movement in the new ball, so she's expecting the batter to throw her bat, and that's why you have a slip there.
Yeah, when we speak about the tournament, Mithali, and we talk about the fact the tournament that started in 2004, first runs on the board. Does that broaden the smile on your face when you see it growing every season?
You see that the first run, a bit of hesitation there, but the batter reaches comfortably because the throw is way over the keeper's head. Yes, I think the tournament itself has come a long way. I remember the first Asia Cup, there was just 2 participants, 2 countries, and just then 2? And that was India and Sri Lanka, and then later on we had Pakistan coming in, and then Bangladesh, and today look at the number of countries which participate in Asia Cup.
Yeah, last season, 2022, we added 1 more, we made it 7. Now we have 8. And so many more stories. We'll keep picking Mithali's brains, Marina's brains as well. 2 editions you've been a part of, Marina?
Yes, I have been part of 2 editions, and I think what Mithali mentioned, it's really beautiful. That's a good delivery, just beating the batter. Pitching it up is the right thing to do on this surface in these conditions. I mean, now I see, and when I talk to these youngsters, it amazes me how much passion they have.
Basics always remain the basic. When T20 arrived, we were always of the opinion, will the cover drive still stay? Will the back foot punch be visible? Will the bottom hand dominate the top hand totally? Will the spinners survive? Leg spinners are the match winners these days. So many more things to talk about, Mithali, which shows that class will remain. Tekesh outside edge, 1 more run.
Well, I think, Paddy, when you talk about the fundamentals, usually that remain the same no matter how much you tweak the sport or the different formats. But yes, it's quite different to see the leggies coming in. The leg spinners are proving to be match winners. They are one skill which is so difficult in cricket in terms of the bowling department. But there are a lot of leg spinners of late coming into every squad.
Nice to see, and they become the match winners, the game changers. Last ball, first over. Nicely played. They're dealing in singles. Third single of the over. First over gone. 3 without loss. Three without loss after the first over, mind you. Nepal won the toss. They decided to field first. And they haven't had a win marina ever in Women's Asia Cup.
Yeah, but I don't think that really bothers them. What matters to them, and I think the rest of the world, is how they've been progressing. UAE definitely few names who have got experience, who have been performing. Isha has been prolific for UAE, and she can transfer that experience and confidence into her team. But Nepal, they've got few potential players who can make an impact at any day, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, when you talk about Nepal, talk about Indu Burma, talk about Rubina Chetri, talk about the UAE, and talk about Sabnam Rai at the moment. 12 matches for her, 10 wickets, 4.5 the economy rate. When you can bowl with that sort of an economy rate, you're doing a very good job, especially when you're bowling in the power play.
The numbers definitely tell you how experienced she is, and again, the best thing I like about these teams, as we mentioned and talked earlier, is to keep the basics right in the game.
The more miserly you are, the more valuable you become, Nepal.
Well, I think the first ball that she bowled, usually in conditions like this, I think the slow medium pacers are a little difficult to play your shots, because one, of course, we've been talking about the wind factor, but off the wicket, when it doesn't really come, you know, as a batter, you need to generate your power to create those angles and those shots that you can get through the gap.
What a shot. Bisecting the field, a thing of beauty, is a joy forever. That's a boundary.
That's one of her strengths. She likes to stay deep into the crease, wait for the ball, very solid off the back foot. It was way outside, asking to be hit. Easy picking for Isha. That will give them a lot of confidence.
Well done. Yeah, you talk about confidence, and suddenly you start to feel so very good about yourself. Good things start to run in your veins. Confidence is back. Finding the meat of the ball gives you confidence, but if you can get boundary for that, icing on the cake. She goes area. There was an effort, but it's enough to get the second boundary.
She just managed to get over that infield. Could be because it is with the wind that she's played that shot, and it was pitched a little up into her, and she converted that into a good boundary, continuing that momentum. After the first boundary there, she gets another boundary.
She doesn't often commit to front foot. She's a tall girl. I've seen her hang back, preferred playing on back foot. Probably that's one of the areas she likes to go aerial, that's in the V. Just a little shimmy, put down the foot and tries to go aerial.
No field change though. Mid-on stays where she was. Well bowled, alters her length. Good comeback by the bowler. This over we've seen a lot of intent. The first over was cautiously played, and this time around they've started to just put the foot on the accelerator and not take it off. Though it was a good comeback this time around. Good delivery, nipping coming in. Just to update you, Nepal won the toss. They chose to bowl first. Comes down the wicket. I mean, she is just... Oh, there's a mix-up. First wicket. Yes, it is. A yes and a no results in the first wicket.
Earlier we saw a bit of hesitation as well, but on this occasion, it has costed UAE. It's the huge wicket of the captain. Isha has to take the walk back. Again, indecision. She came down the track, just adjusted the shot, was responded by the non-striker, but left stranded in the middle.
And you've taken care of the nucleus there. I mean, that player is so very crucial for their chances. Yes and a no, a mix-up there, and they know the importance of that one. Isha was a 10 from 9. It's 11 for 1. When they got Isha's run out, celebration as if they've taken half the team out, and you can understand the value of that player because the way she's contributed not just with the bat but with the ball as well, Mithali.
Yes, Isha has been one of the best players, best batter for UAE, and when you get there you see the numbers for Ranita Rajit, who's walked in at number 3 with 35 matches of experience and a decent strike rate. And there is a misfield. Will they go for a second? No, so there is a single, and that's the end of 2 overs. UAE 12 for 1.
We'll take a look at wicket yet again. She played the shot, she calls for it, partner responds, and then partner says no. I mean, once you've committed, you cannot say no then.
She came way too ahead for her to get back, Isha, and even the non-striker, I felt that even she had a longer start, but the calling could have been much earlier, understanding that both the batters, how crucial they are for the batting department of UAE.
There was no going back for her after she was sent back, Marina.
Yeah, they say that running between the wickets, it's not about the speed, it's about how well of a judge you are about a run. I don't think there was run. It played straight into the hands and just took off.
Partner should have said no straight away as well. It's all about trust. Bisected yet again. That will be boundary number 3 of the innings.
And that's one area where Nepal should be concentrating. Allowing width on this surface will make you pay the price. And we've seen 2 boundaries, width on offered and beautifully put away between the gap.
You have to make the best use of the power play here. Mind you, only have that liberty that the fielders are going to stay out of the circle. Just 2 of them. 6 over power play. After that, you can have 5 patrolling the boundary, 4 patrolling the boundary, 5 you have to have inside the circle. Rules are slightly different from men's cricket. Now they've brought about protection and brought the fine leg in. Sweeper goes back. So both the players patrolling the boundary line on the fence on the offside. Third man and sweeper. Inside edge, partner response. The calling has just not been correct. They need to find the best way to go about it.
Yes, I think when you lose your first wicket, you're one of your best batters through run out. I think it becomes even more important that, you know, that's the run out. There's a hesitation right in the middle, and when you lose a wicket like that, it's very important for UAE here to develop a partnership. So the 2 batters who are playing right now in the middle have to work out how to develop a partnership and give that start which UAE desperately needs at the moment.
Yeah, strong alone, unstoppable together. You need to find that togetherness. Calling was just not correct. Beautifully driven, but powerfully driven straight to the fielder at mid-off. And that, Marina, has jolted them. There was a big wicket.
It was, but you have to put that behind. It's in the past now, especially for Tirtha, because she has been involved in that run out. She needs to come out of the shell and focus how she can contribute now.
Beautifully played. Straight bat, straight like an arrow. Another boundary.
That's a good shot. That was pure timing. Played through the line. It was so good to see. She held the pace. She held the position right. and got that mid-off drive. This should give her confidence after that run out. I think this will give her a lot of confidence to continue her innings.
Nothing would give more delight to than a straight drive.
Well, as a batter, yes, of course. Any batter who plays that will always be so good to watch.
You like the second then, Marina?
Oh, I totally agree. And you could see a little bit of smile on my face as well of Mithali's, especially from the youngsters, because nowadays, because of the leagues and modern day cricket, T20 cricket, there have been a lot of extravagant shots. But when you see such a shot, it's beautiful. It's elegance personified. Look at that. Straight back, just pushing it, and yet again, oh, was it a chance? By the reaction, it looks like it.
3 overs gone, 21 for 1. $21 for 1. Last ball, previous over. It seemed there was a chance, Scott Mould chance. But it's straight back to the bowler. Oh yes, you are supposed to take those.
Yeah, it was dying on her, but these are the opportunities Nepal needs to make count of it. There was another chance on offer.
Cleaned up! Sound of the bamboo is the most pleasing for a bowler. Wicket number 2.
The premeditated shot from the batter. She was nowhere close to the line of the ball. I think she completely missed the line. She was already prepared to play that big shot. There you see she's at the release point. She's already out. But then she didn't cover the line and has to walk back. That was another wicket for Nepal, and Nepal here definitely looks good. I think they are definitely on a different level today.
Okay, so Renita Rajit walks back after having scored 4. It's 21 for 2. So they won the toss and they picked up 2 wickets. Nepal, Marina, will have to say they're ticking the boxes there.
Definitely they are, just putting pressure back on UAE, and I think it wasn't needed at that occasion. Renata just trying to break the shackles. Got Samira Dharnedekar, got a bit of experience as well. Best is 31. They just need to take a step back, UAE.
When plan A doesn't work, Mithali, you've got 25 more letters in the alphabet. Go to plan B.
I think here Nepal definitely is has got the start they wanted. They chose to field. They got 2 wickets in before the power play ends. And look at the confidence. When you get a wicket, there is a very different height to a bowler. The next ball is straight up there.
Yeah, there. That's how. Well bowled. Saw her coming down and just altered her length, and agony written all over her face. Won the toss, decided to bowl. They picked up 2 wickets, 1 via a run out. Eshauza, the most crucial of them all.
That's good bowling from Shabnam. Her action is that it will nip back naturally, but the wind is also helping her. So as a batter, you need to take those counts in. I think that wild swing, I don't think Reneka actually read that right. With that action, it already comes back in.
Oh, well played. Just the timing. And sometimes timing is everything. It's a boundary.
We were talking about cover drive. There you get in one to see. And very beautifully played. She picked the right length. She got everything right, whether her footwork, her timing, and even the gap. There you see. I think it was really good to see that shot. Pretty on the rise, I would say. to play to an incoming bowler.
And that brought about the dugout ecstasy as well. It's always nice to see Marina when you see the cradle, the finesse, the four.
That was exquisite to see. I mean, everything rightly mentioned by Mithali was spot on with that shot, especially the weight transfer.
And now sweepers were moved back, third man back. Two fielders you can take out. Upish, bit of misfield there. Will they come back for the second? They have a chance. Yes. Easy second in the end.
I think that was a good setup, I would say. She had a change in the field after that boundary. She had a sweeper there, covered for the cover drive, but she got a fielder from the onside at backward point. And that's where the ball went a little upish towards point. She was asking the batter to throw her bat, hoping for a catch there.
Field stays the same. Driving beautifully though, this time around doesn't get runs, but still everything was right about that drive. 27 for 2. Talk about that team, a lot of potential there. They have one win in Women's Asia Cup against Malaysia.
Come on, girls, come on!
Satish was the player of the match in that only win. That was in 2022. Story so far has been Nepal won the toss, chose to field, 27 for 2. It's Rubina coming in.
Ow!
Tosses it up, and for that the field that she's taken is a long off and a mid wicket.
Righty, righty,
For the righty it's going to change. The sweeper is going to come in perhaps. They have to have a mid wicket, Marina?
Well, it depends how much of a turn the surface has on offer, but I don't think that Rubina would be looking for that. It's pretty straightforward in terms of bowling the lines within the stumps, pretty flat as well.
They have a deep mid wicket and they have a long on for the right hander. All 5 fielders on the offside inside the circle there. So the invitation would be Mithali to go over the top.
Well, she clearly is attacking the stumps. Her line, of course, is into the batter, so it tends to be a little difficult to go over the offside circle, and that's where she's taken the protection of long on and deep mid wicket.
That's the beauty of having a right hander and a left hander at the crease. I mean, you are busy all the time, you keep altering your plan. Suddenly left hander comes, suddenly mid wicket goes back, long off stays where it was. Fine leg has been shifted a little more towards square leg. Tossed up delivery, plays with soft hands.
We were talking about different type of spinners in T20 game, and off spinners are definitely under threat. You rarely see a genuine off spinner now.
What? Oh, gives it a swat. What would be the reason for that?
No, good fielding, just a single there. Well, obviously the batters have decided to take them apart. It's easier when the ball is coming into you. You just slog it away. Even in women's game, well, that's the story. Nepal versus UAE head-to-head in T20s. Matches Nepal has won 2. That should give them some confidence.
So 4 deliveries, 3 runs so far. He's really tossed it up. The invitation has been on. That's a beautiful shot off the back foot. Fantastic punch. We'll get 4.
That was too short. from an off spinner. When you have a field on the onside, you cannot afford to bowl that length, and especially outside. So I think this was definitely not of the plan. It didn't come off, but it was pretty good for advantage UAE because they've got a boundary there of that ball.
Waited and waited. Knows the importance of that one. And it jolted early, 2 wickets. Last ball coming off the 5th over. Still no protection on the boundary on the offside. You can't afford to give room. Dot ball to finish the 5th. It's 34 for 2.
First 5 overs of 2024 Women's Asia Cup up and running between Nepal and UAE and Group A. Big girls in action later on. India and Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Malaysia and Thailand in Group B in action tomorrow. Right, set your clock, set your reminders and tune in. India take on Pakistan. The opening game for both teams. Build up from 6:30. Manpreet Kaur has the World Cup inside. Nidadar is to pick things up after disappointments in recent competitions as Nepal's captain decides to come in. Final over of the power play. Here's Indu Barma. An eventful first 5 overs, boundaries, wickets. Afternoon to Isabel Joyce.
Thank you very much, Ranak. Delighted to be here. That was an interesting start to our stint. A very short delivery that wasn't dealt with at all by Tirtha Satish. She'll be disappointed with that one.
Oh, it's gone through. Sigh from the captain, disappointment. In fact, it's yielded 2 when it should have been none. And the attempt to pick up the ball after the misfield, perhaps just a bit dozy from Nepal.
And good awareness as well from Tirtha, because that's throwing into the wind and it's so strong. We've talked about it time and again. Here's the misfield. Just kept on fading away from her there, and there's the fatal gap between knee and heel there in the long barrier. Good power though from Tirtha, so it went for 2.
Oh, gone, caught and bowled. Captain strikes. That is a big wicket, Tirtha Satish. And Nepal have rocked the UAE.
Well, massive celebrations, and they deserve that, Nepal. They've stuck at it. It was there to be hit, but she was caught in between going over the top and going along the ground, Tirtha Satish. And unfortunately, she sent it straight back into the waiting hands there of the captain, Indu Barma. The whole team's come together. They've got 3 inside the power play, and we know what that means. That it's very much Nepal's game here. Tirtha Satish, the left-hander, goes for 9. UAE in a bit of trouble, 36 for 3.
Right, they won the toss. Indu Barma, she hesitated for a second, just a fraction of a second. Said that she's going to have a bowl first. She'll be thrilled about the 3 wickets in the first 6 as Kavisha Kumari walks out. Seeing a slightly different approach in this tournament from the UAE. Kavisha has batted higher up the order. Samari Darnidarika, who came in ahead of her, batted 3 for them in the Under-19 Women's World Cup. Need to reset, just keep their calm. Nepal, you can expect, will be in full voice.
Well, Kavisha is used to being in the top order, so she's a good player for them to have coming in at 5 with their 2 top scorers out. They'll need a big performance from her.
Off the mark straight away. One thing you'll expect from Nepal, they'll be up and about now. They'll be in the ears of the batters. This is why she's in.
Just caught betwixt and between Tirtha Satish. Thought about going over the top. She's so strong over mid-wicket that she was trying to play within herself because she knew she needed to be there for the innings. Sometimes that can really play on your mind.
With a bag of tricks. Dealing in. Yeah, you can't help but think that Tirtha Satish had the run out of the captain on her mind. It's too formidable at the top. Unforced error causing for a stumble. Still a long way to go though. Last ball of the power play. Well, we've seen it all from Burma in the opening over, but it's a successful one. 38 for 3, the UAE. Right, on the toss, the opening game, the Isha Oza, a big part of this UAE team. Needless run out, terrible mix-up with Tirtha Satish. Thought she might have reset and put that behind her with a boundary. It just went a bit too soon, and we thought that they'd bring it over 6 and 2 wickets. A decent enough start. Wicket of Tirtha Satish in the last over by Indu Barma. I think now puts Nepal ahead. Change in bowling. As Kavita Joshi is into the attack.
Come on, Joshi.
She will be into the attack.
I love when spinners mix up their run-ups. It's only a few steps to take, and she's mismarked it.
Started well. They've also judged the single well. They decided to let the ball come to her instead of trying to attack it.
Well, I heard Marina talking earlier about the judging of a run, and that's really well judged from Darna Darka. She's hit it to the left of the fielder. She knows the fielder's right-handed, and she's hit it well enough that she can't really attack the ball, so good single.
Not sure we could get much evidence of turn from what we've seen so far, even though Indu Barma was trying everything. And the wind factor is significant here. You could see it on the jerseys of the players. It'll something that batters will have to take into account. Teams playing in the afternoons will take note. Catching as well.
Come on, Josu.
That's in the gap. Keeper has work to do, will not get there. First boundary for Kavisha.
She got a bit of width, and she got the right length as well. The key though was she found the gap just in front of point. Have a look at this point of contact just in front. Gets the bottom hanging through. That sends it forward of point, and the sweeper too straight to cut that one off. Kavisha has come in and has made it look easy out there.
Yeah, one of 3 fielders in the deep and outside the power play. Sweep on the offside. Animated appeal. Batter will be disappointed she couldn't do more with that. Just looped in that full toss pads.
Just looks a little bit nervous, doesn't it? When there's a decision to be made, they are finding it difficult to make the right choice. UAE. That was a full toss. She thought about hitting it leg side and then thought about a different shot. Have a look at this back lift. She's thinking about going and then thinks twice. Good length as well.
It dipped. Probably had the sweep in mind. She saw it looped up, decided not to come down. In the end, it went nowhere. She likes it there. Short and wide. This time the fielder was just moved just a few meters after the boundary, so it deals only a single. Good over though for the UAE so far.
It's been clear as well that the Nepal bowlers are happy to speed up a few deliveries and over. That was definitely quicker. She's bowling into her sweeper, which is always something that your captain wants. She wants to get out of this over without another boundary, just 6 from it so far.
Thank goodness. Keeper's done well there. Shrestha behind the stumps.
It's almost like a soccer goalkeeper. Needs must. Whatever will stop the ball is what the coach will say. May not look pretty, but it was effective here from Shrestha. Didn't manage to gather, but stopped it.
Disappointed you chose soccer instead of football. 45 for 3. It's a beautiful part of the world, Sri Lanka. It's where Nepal have started well. Barma, the captain, right of screen, deciding to bowl first. A little bit of movement. Sabnam Rai. She's been busy, the captain. 5 bowlers in 7 overs, including herself. There is just chaos in the middle between the two batters. We're going to have a look at that. That is the easiest of singles. And clearly between Dharnidarika and Kavisha, we need to just have a chat, calm down. Now this was a single even if the fielder would have stopped it. It's now gone in the deep. Well, they're young, they'll learn. Oh, there's another. Indu Barma with the golden arm. Just the nerves of the UAE on display in this opening game. They have lost 4.
Alisha Oza won't be pleased with this shot from Dharnidarika. You need to be ready for anything when Barna's bowling, because she drops it in short, she changes up her pace. This one was much shorter, quicker into the pitch as well. Just played it neither early nor late, Samira Dharnidarika. Didn't send it over the fielder or along the ground, so she's found the fielder perfectly. UAE lose their 4th. 46 for 4. Dharnidarika goes. She was looking good out in the middle, 13 from just 12. She'll be disappointed with that mode of dismissal in particular, and UAE in all sorts of trouble here.
Someone has to just settle things for the UAE. Will that be Khushimohan Sharma? Has batted 3 in the past, has a role to play with ball as well. But now just needs to quieten this Nepali side.
Well, she's quite a classical batter. Khushi Sharma plays nicely through the offside, as long levers as well. I think the key for these two is to try and take the game deep. Think about going about 6s and over, set a launch pad for the back end of the innings.
Yeah, make no mistake, the UAE would enter this game as favourites, which is rare for them. They play this competition. Here's the wicket, just simple, nothing much in it. They've caught well so far. She's off the mark. And the disappointment of failing to make it for the Women's T20 World Cup, so narrowly losing out recently. UAE know that this team is capable of more. They just won the 1 game at the last edition against Malaysia, and this is a game they're expected to win against a team that hasn't won yet.
Well, you mentioned that semi-final in the global qualifiers, and it was such an enthralling game because it was Sri Lanka, the nervous Sri Lanka, who felt they shouldn't have had to be there. And they were up against these upstarts, UAE, who were going in with all this freedom. And it's completely different this game, isn't it? Because the mindset changes when you're the favourites. The nerves come in a lot more. Isha Oza was magnificent in that game, 60 odd from just 40 odd deliveries in the game. She's not out there in the middle, so it's just interesting to see how they play. But there'll be nerves later on as well. India, Pakistan, cannot wait for that one. We'll be with you from 6:30 for that one. And India very much favourites, but in the last edition of this tournament it was Pakistan who came out on top in the group games.
So went down to Thailand. This Pakistan thinks that Nidadara has the responsibility of leading this team. I quite like the swagger on display in the photo shoot yesterday ahead of their opening game today. Yep, that's the game Isabel Joy speaks of. It remains their only win in 6 attempts in the history of the Women's Asia Cup. Right, that has just had a little bit of reinforcement. It's a productive area so far. In short and wide, Kavisha's helped herself to another boundary. No shortage of boundaries in these opening overs.
That's the youth of today, isn't it? They love to score boundaries on the attack. It's the wickets falling that are the problem for UAE. No problem scoring boundaries, just like this one. It was upish, but she found the gap between point and backward point. And as I said before, it's lightening that outfield.
Yeah, you'd accept 6.5. It's just the unnecessary wickets UAE would have felt they've handed their opponents. It's still a productive over in spite of the wicket. Yields 7, 52 for 4. It was a nice way to bring up the 50 of the innings.
Come on, guys, Chito.
I just want to take issue here with you saying I should say football instead of soccer. In Ireland, football is Gaelic football.
You didn't let that go?
No, I had to bring it back.
Cover
50 coming up in the last over. Rubina Chetri. He's a busy captain. Zindu Barma just moving her bowlers around. Flicked the run out that triggered. It was a big appeal. Now I have to rely on the on-field umpire. She says no.
You can see why they were so excited, but I'm pretty sure that was just bat on the ground here. Comes from wide, sending it in, and yeah, that's missed the outside edge, but not by much.
It certainly hurt something as it went past the outside edge.
No. Come on, Dee, come on.
Varying her pace, using all her experience, Rubina is among Nepal's most capped players, 55 appearances.
Very canny operator. Very clear to see she's bowling from wide of the crease, sending it in towards the right-hander. And the other thing is the bowling's not great for the UAE batters. We've seen a run out already. That should be won every single time, because as a non-striker you're backing up. You should be able to get home, and they've missed out on a single there, have UAE.
Yeah, primary role you'd ask her would be with bat, but see how she's asking questions of the batters.
No.
Only be a single. Yeah, Rubina Chetri, player to watch out for this Nepal side. Spoke to her before the tournament, said she'd love her social work if she didn't become a cricketer. Someday, maybe, the WPL or Women's Big Bash. Cristiano Ronaldo, famous soccer player according to Isabel Joyce.
Hey, you got to get it right, haven't you, Ranak?
She's a bag of tricks at the moment.
I think sometimes when you're a batter who bowls, you can be very smart with your bowling plans because you can work out the batters really well. And that seems to be the order of the day for Rubina. Just making sure she doesn't go for any boundaries. She's bowling into her field very nicely.
It's a good over from Rubina, a quiet one, just 3 singles off it, 55 for 4. They were a little more relaxed after the first few overs. Having lost 4, everyone's like they're attending a class.
Hina Hachandani was padded up there. She's the other left-hander in the lineup for UAE. She could be key if they're going to elevate this score later on, if she can pair with a right-handed batter and hit with the wind.
Left arm spin for the first time. There's another experienced hand. This Nepal camp. The form of Sita Rana Magar. Former captain. Loads of experience.
That first delivery was interesting, wasn't it? Because it was very short. Kavisha was lining up for a big swipe at the ball and then it turned big. So she missed out a little bit. You have to be wary for those shorter deliveries. They're popping up a little bit.
Yeah, at 50 wickets, she is Nepal's leading wicket taker.
Come on, Dee, come on!
Also has the most player of the match awards for Nepal in T20Is.
No, no, no!
That's better.
Much better, and I think the UAE batters need to think singles every single ball here. They're thinking too much about boundaries and finding the fielders when they do.
And it's a big enough outfield, and these are balls that you'd like to get away, at least in the gaps. It's minimal risk.
Either side of the boundary fielders, see if you can run 2. 5 twos is in and over is 10, just as well as 2 boundaries and a 2 is.
There's a class of your own. Just 2 singles of Sita Rana Magar's first over. The halfway stage, the UAE 57 for 4. It's time for the players and the officials to have a drink.
.57 for 4. 10 overs gone. Look there, Indu Burma amongst wicket taker. She's picked up 2. Cotton bowled where Putta Satish for 9. And then talk about Samira or Kavita bowled Burma. This partnership, 11 runs from 16 balls. They've taken far too many balls for that, but you would understand that. They've lost 4 wickets early. It was 46. Score was when the 4th wicket fell. After that, they've just managed to hold their end together, not lose any more wicket, and probably leave for themselves an opportunity to just go lambasting the last 4 or 5 overs. Can that be a very good strategy? In the commentary box, I'm joined by Marina and Mithali.
Well, at toss, Indu mentioned that they would like to restrict UAE just around 100. They're on the right track, 4 down already on 57.
Mithali, they've done well so far. The bowling department, if you consumed your opponents just at 57, taken 4 primary wickets, you will give yourself a pat on the back.
Yes, I think the way they started off with that huge wicket in the form of a run out and then follow it up with a couple of wickets. I think this is what they wanted, the start they wanted.
You always speak about the good base that you need to have as a unit. Be it the time when you're fielding, be it the time when you're bowling. We're talking about the first 10 overs here. There was a mix-up, and this was a big moment in the game, considering the fact it was Isha Oja. And flurry of boundaries after that. This was a self-inflicting wound, Marina.
It's just a wild swing. I think they're trying to do a little bit hard than they should be doing. It's not threatening conditions out in the middle. It's a good surface to bat on. You have to be a little bit patient, trying to make use of that inner feed circle, trying to play many shots all together. When you look at them, they've managed to get boundaries along the ground. Probably going aerial is not a good option.
Start of the 11th. Rubina yet again. Driven beautifully. She's taking the first one quickly, but good fielding. The fielder at long off doesn't allow the opportunity of a second. There has always been this invitation to the batter. Tossed up deliveries. Use your feet. Try to go aerial if you want. We're not going to give you the pace to score runs off. Five fielders inside the circle. Extra cover. Short mid-wicket. Backward square leg. Third man point covers. Four fielders that we can take outside. Station that deep mid-wicket, which is very straightish actually, long on. Normally you don't see mid-wicket to be that straightish. This time around she goes aerial. She could not take the invitation for long.
Back up!
Whenever you speak about Kavisha, the girl who has fond memories from this place, favorite cricketer, Maria Atapattu, Tilak Ratne Dilshan. If not a cricketer, she would have been a computer engineer. Let's speak to her, and she hails from Colombo. And she was also talking about the fact that the breeze here blows very strong. And she said our team is better acclimatized to that than the opponent.
I'm sure that, you know, she knows the conditions here. And it is also the fact that the field set Paddy ball before you asked about a straighter mid-wicket, that was also because the line of attack that the bowler is bowling is way outside off stump, and there is much turn because of the wind, and that's why the field setters are pretty straight.
Marina, would that be an option right now? We've not seen a sweep shot yet. If you sweep, you get 4. Square leg up, fine leg up, nobody back, mid-wicket straightish.
No, run!
No, she says, I'll play it back to the bowler. 61 for 4. Okay, when you talk about the certified blockbuster, when you speak about the fact that this is played on the field, but it runs in the veins. It is India versus Pakistan. Marina and Mithali are smiling at the moment. In a short while from now, we'll have that war on the cricket field. I'm going to take back seat. Girls, all over you. Mithali, to start with you.
Well, that was one big build-up, I would say, which runs in the veins. But I think most definitely any tournament you talk about India-Pakistan is always a big game for both the teams, because both teams do boast about good players, match winners, and a very exciting talent also. As a team, both teams come together, they put up a very good standard of cricket.
Marina, is this the game where mindset matters so much more than the skill set?
Well, definitely mindset does matter, but I think knowing when to control your emotion matters the most. The thing I like about these rivalries is that it brings the best out of you.
It does. You talk about the fans, you talk about the critics, you talk about people from both sides of the border. Yeah, this is one encounter which gives them the most amount of delight. When you talk about facing each other, dominance, India, totally 5-1 from the 6 games. And overall, when you look at it, outside of the Asia Cup also, India's dominance as well. Marina, what would be your message to the girls in Pakistan?
This is a simple one. Believe in yourself. Leave the baggage behind. It's a new game, new tournament, new opportunity to become a hero, to make an impact. And I remember for the first time we beat India, it was back in 2012 in a World Cup at Gaul, and I was part of it. So yeah, you have that opportunity to become a hero for your nation. And again, as I said, it brings the best out of you. You just have to believe that. Otherwise, pressure, it's always there. You cannot run away from it.
Mithali is watching Harmanpreet Kaur as well, the two captains there, Mithali. You've been there with that trophy so many more times. How do you reflect back at those moments?
I think as players, when you play the tournament, when you play matches, all you think about post-retirement is the memories that you carry, the experience of feeling, being in the middle, playing your best cricket against the best opponents, and I guess it is just the good memories that you take from this tournament.
Absolutely. Now that is going to be the second installment of the day, the doubleheader that we promised you. This is the start of the 9th edition of Women's Asia Cup. Mind you, 8 countries will compete for the Asia Cup over the next 10 days. Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh. Then talk about Thailand, Nepal, UAE, Malaysia. Top their respective groups in ACC Women's Premier Cup. That's the reason they're here. For the first time, we're having 8 teams in the tournament, Marina. That's a good sign.
That's a very good sign, and I think in coming years we'll see a lot more of them coming in. But overall, when you look at the girls' game, the women's cricket, it has progressed a lot. 12 overs gone at 65 for 4 UAE.
Marina, the point they were trying to make was the fact that it's 65 for 4 at the moment. This partnership, what it has done is it has laid another foundation. Yes, they've taken 28 for the 19 runs, but this was required, Mithali. You couldn't afford any other wicket at this moment.
Well, yes, you definitely had to hold on to some wickets, because if you want to go over 100, yes, you definitely need to have batters who are coming in the end to up the the scoring rate.
Just flash the 2 groups onto your screen. India, Pakistan, today evening. Certified blockbuster coming your way. 65 for 4 at this one. And the last wicket fell, the score was 46. And this partnership has really laid down another foundation. But Marina, the time is coming when one of them has to say, let's go for big runs. Good shot. Right on cue. Great follow through. Exquisite finish. Gets a boundary.
That's all that's required of Nepal. Whenever there is an opportunity to score a boundary, just go for it. It was pitched up, way outside off stump, asking to be hit. She waited. That's the best thing she did. Just waited for the delivery, played underneath her eyes. It was a good shot. I think there will be opportunities provided, and again in T20 we really underrate the importance of singles and doubles.
Yeah, when you keep rotating the strike, you don't give the bowler the chance to bowl at one batter for a long time, so you need to keep altering and changing your plans.
Yes, this format, definitely the requirement is you always need to have 2-3 plans for a batter, because we've seen a very good drive just now, a long stride, she went to the pitch of the ball, but the next ball you've seen the bowler pulling the length. Even the flight that she bowled, her previous ball, she bowled a little flatter. So even the bowler is also thinking like, what is the best line, what is the best length for a batter after you get hit for a boundary.
What have you seen, Marina, on this over? They're using their feet now, so they're trying to force the bowler to think.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best ways to play against spin. Don't let them settle and make them and force them to bowl in the areas which are your strengths. Just have to be careful coming down the track.
This time, no. Plays from the crease and watches it turn in front of her. Beautifully bowled, tossed up delivery.
I think that's probably best delivery so far.
Delivery of the match. Goes aerial this time around to the left of mid-off. Does a good job, covers ground fairly quickly.
Feet, Sati.
13 gone, 72 for 4. For 4. Those of you who just joined the Star Network and Disney Plus on Star late, Nepal won the toss, chose to field. 7-2 for 4.
Just any youngsters watching out, that's probably not the best technique. Look at the one running towards the other end. Her back is towards where the ball is, so you cannot judge if there is a second run on offer or not. You have to face the ball if it goes in deep.
Two things the coaches tell you. One, the shortest distance between two dots is a straight line. The second one is keep your eye on the ball all the time. I just wanted to ask you, Mithali, when you would prepare against Pakistan, Sri Lanka, big teams, it's okay. When you would prepare for lesser known teams, would that preparation be different?
I think more than the preparation, Paddy, I was very nervous. Too nervous when I'm playing lesser known teams.
You're too nervous?
Yeah, because you don't know what to prepare for. You don't know their variations, you don't know how they bowl. Whereas the other teams, when you play them often, you know a particular bowler, this is the variation, this is what she's going to do, or this is the strategy she's going to apply. Whereas the lesser known teams, most of the time, the first over, you tend to take time to understand what they bowl. So it's far more nervous for me, more nervous than any other team I face.
Has it become easy now, Marina? Especially Ariel, is there a chance? No, it is not. Has it become easier now because you get to see the other teams also, at least on television, because most matches are covered these days?
Well, unless you play them in the middle, I don't think it becomes easy. It doesn't matter how much homework you have done, but that experience, that's when you try to feel comfortable and you start to read them. And because you're carrying a reputation, it adds to the pressure.
For the second time, they're going aerial. Flatter throw towards the wicketkeeper's end would have been a better option though.
You expect the bowler not to run behind the ball but stand at the bowling end to receive the throw. Here the bowler was nowhere near the bowling end when the long off fielder threw that. Look at that. She's just, there's nobody at the wicket, even someone who wants to get a run out there. I think this is something, people who are watching, the youngsters, need to understand that someone has to be there at the wicket to receive the throw.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even if the bowler is going and chasing the ball, someone from close inside the circle should realize it and come up to the stumps. These spatial understandings, these game awareness, it's very important, and that's probably the difference between bigger teams, successful teams, and the ones who lose match at crucial time.
Basics never change, they remain the same. Well driven, he'll keep the strike. 14 gone, it's 78 for 4. 17 for Khushi, 22 for Kavisha from 25 balls. Good thing is, from the last couple of overs, they've started to use their feet very well. They're saying, okay, you're not sending the ball to us, let's go and meet the ball. This partnership, 32 from 40. They have to put one foot on the accelerator and not take it off. At least one out of the two, Mithali. What should be the understanding at the moment? One should start to go hard at this moment?
I think yes, because both the batters, Kavisha and Khushi, have played about 20-25 balls. So that means that they've already, the eyes are set in, they know the wind direction, they know the bowlers, what they are bowling. So I think one should take the initiative of, up the run rate.
Okay, talk about the big one coming up later in the evening. Call it the certified blockbuster, you call it an encounter. There's more to it when India plays Pakistan, and that's going to be 6:30 is the time. Be with us. Certified blockbuster will welcome all of you with open arms. India, mind you, out of the 8 editions in the past, have been the winners 7 times. It was in 2018 when Bangladesh won it. Pakistan have never won it. Looking at the side, Marina, what sort of expectations do you have from the team, not just this encounter, but the entire tournament?
A few players have come back into the side. We've got one youngster, Tasmia Rubab. She's one to watch, left-arm pacer. And it's a really good mix and match of young players as well as experienced ones. And I think spinners, they brought 2 leg spinners back into the squad, given the conditions. Overall, yes, the one thing I would like them to work on, to take responsibility, is in batting. So that's one area where Pakistan has clearly been struggling over the years, a lot of shuffling going on, but now it seems like things have started to settle in. But again, it's all about belief, it's all about clarity when you're in the middle.
Yeah, when you think you can and when you think you cannot, you are always right. Area wicket! Partnership has been broken. And again, it was a tossed-up delivery that does the trick.
He's trying to exploit that gap, that extra cover gap. Wanted to go aerial, but threw the shot quite early. Kavishak was looking good, this partnership was looking good. But finally a breakthrough for Nepal. It was tossed up, it was right there. Couldn't really get full meat of the bat, sliced it in the air, and an easy catch.
The look on the face says it all. Scored 22, did Kavisha from 26 balls. It is 78 for 5. Khushi has a new partner at the moment. Tina comes in.
Lefty.
And if at all Khushi was thinking about accelerating, her plans would have been jolted for a bit. They wanted that wicket and they've broken the partnership yet again. Their planning was, Marina, to restrict them under 100.
I think, yeah, she was spot on in that term. 78 5 and 14.1 overs. That's Hina. And she can bat for sure. Got strike rate of 80, best of 32. But at this time, at this phase of the game, she doesn't have much time on her hands. Straight away, she has to get into the game.
In a hot Chandani. Tossed up delivery, oh. You would have thought 3 to 4 times. Mid-wicket, long on, mid-off, where to hit?
Usually these are the balls good batters get out. I remember how many times I have gone out on a full toss thinking there are 3-4 shots I've already played in my mind, but I couldn't execute it, not one properly. So, but I guess when you walk in, you expect a good ball bowled to you, but not a full toss, and that's why probably she couldn't decide which shot to play.
Oh, the bowlers had a lot of pace on that one. It was flat. Good fielding in the end. Good all-round cricket. Tossed up delivery, taking the challenge, hitting it straight over the bowler's head. Collects 2. Look at that effort yet again. Brilliant. Converting the 4 into 2.
No.
Continuously with one strategy. They're coming back. Wicketkeeper's end would have been a better option. Good throw. Probably the result would have been different.
Small things overall Nepal needs to work on. When you look at going for the big shots, it's a natural swing going into the leg side for most of the players. And I think for the previous wicket that fell, again, she was trying to go into the leg side rather than exploring a bit straighter boundary or towards the extra cover. Just need to work your shots and have to pick your ballers.
The 2s are working well for them. Good strategy. Have to work a little harder. Again, there's a chance for a 2 over extra. Taking the first one quickly, yes. Isabel was making that point a short while back in the commentary, that while looking for those boundaries, then you can collect those 2s regularly.
I think that is something they should have they should have done much before than going for aerial shots, because clearly it's an open ground, far more difficult to clear the boundary line. Whereas when you play to the left or the right of the fielder, and when it crosses, you're always on for a second run.
Here comes the last ball of this over. Again, a tossed up delivery. This time she says, okay, I'm going to use the depth of the crease. Plays it on the back foot, keeps the strike. 15 gone, it's 86 for 5.
Final 5 we go. With the UAE having lost half their side, 5th wicket, which has perhaps made them rethink when they want to go hard. A nice little partnership that was brewing in Barma's back. We've had 15 overs of cricket. This is where both dugouts will be making calculations. How much is it moving? How much is it turning? What's a good score? Answer those questions, Isabel Joyce.
Talk about dropping me in it. I think 120 could be a winning score out here. It's difficult to score boundaries, as we just heard Mitali Raj talk about. Ones and twos are probably the order of the day, and the odd boundary here and there, especially in the power play. But 120, they could possibly defend, even something less than that, 110. Projected score at the moment 113, and I think UAE will fancy their chances defending that.
Yeah, 120 is good score, especially when you've got an X-factor bowler in the form of Vaishnavi Mahesh, wrist spinner. She's going to challenge India and Pakistan's batters as well, make no mistake. See her in action a little later. For now, left-handed option of Hina Chandani.
Well, the other person who'll challenge all at this tournament is Samira Darnadarkap. She's added a few yards of pace since the Under-19 World Cup, and she's an exciting prospect.
She's running through this over as well quickly. Led from the front in Barma with ball. That's in the gap. It's intentionally in the gap. It's really well played. There's a lot of running. And eventually, between 3 fielders, they managed to save 1. I'm hoping that the fielder had long gone, who actually needs some attention. I hope it's nothing serious. Collided into her teammate. But that's well played from Hina.
Very strong through the leg side is Hina. She didn't try and hit this too hard. She just placed it into the gap, and it's great commitment in the deep here. A little bit of a knee into the pitch, which wasn't helped by her teammate banging into her there either. So definitely painful for Bindu Raval, and she doesn't look comfortable.
And those are nasty. He just got stuck in the turf. Actually been a really good outfield. That's a moment of terrible fortune for Bindu Raval. You're going to need their resources with that.
Well, it's really difficult when you're coming around the boundary to cut these off. Running at full tilt, the ball's away from you. It's one of the most difficult skills in the game, is this type of dive, and it's how you get down to the ground. The problem is that big last step there. That left leg went too far in front. She needed her body to be much more forward here. That means that you can dive almost like you're diving into a swimming pool. It can wind you sometimes, but you don't do damage to your knees, and that's a technical area that she may need to look at going forward.
It's the end of another good over from Indu Barma, Nepal's captain. 2 for 15 of her 3, and she had plenty to say ahead of this one.
This is a big opportunity to showcase our talents in front of big stage, like many people will see on the screen, and they will cheer for us. This is the big platform.
I'm quite impressed by Barma because you can tell a lot when the captain comes out for a toss, how confident they are. She strode out there. She was excited to win the toss. She spoke well, and she looks confident coming into the game, and I think she's brought that into her bowling performance and the way that she's managed her bowlers as well.
Ball is for 2 immediately. Fielder can keep it down to 1, but the intent that Hina has shown of the first ball, where the now message has gone through. Got enough wickets in hand. We can go now. Finding out a little more about Nepal's captain. That's a decent pairing at the top. Is your favourite cricketer, Sachin and Smriti? Smriti will be in action later. Neymar Jr. Got a Ronaldo fan, got a Neymar fan.
No run.
Need to get some female soccer players out there. Well, she has been brilliant out in the field, the way she's managed her bowlers and the fielders as well. She's had the top fielders in the right positions to take the catches, and the fielding on the boundary has been really good too.
Khushi Sharma is the set batter now. She's faced 31 balls for her 26.
Lefty, lefty, lefty.
I think Hina in her short innings has already shown us, point you made earlier on, there's a lot of singles, twos, perhaps even threes to be had. Huge pockets of space in the outfield. Boundaries will come. It's a great outfield. It's lightning fast.
Well, I think at this point when they hit to the boundary, unless the boundary fielder comes in a good way, they just have to set off and run back for 2 every time.
No run, Kitu.
And that there again, that's got to be a single. She's gone to her knees. She's not going to pick up and throw. You're not going to be run out. I just think maybe Khushi Sharma is a little bit gassed. It's humid out there. It's definitely not easy, but they need to just run better. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's exactly the point there. They were in a position to turn for 2. In fact, Khushi was ready for it, but this time it was Hina who decided not to. Innings started with a run out. Never auspicious. Keeps the rest of the dressing room thinking.
Well, we talk about running. When you're going to run those 2s, you have to decide as a team beforehand that you're going to do it. And then if someone gets run out from a brilliant throw, you can accept it. 17 overs gone, UAE 94 for 5.
Seven bowlers used by Indu Barma. She's been the best of them. I'm certain she will bowl out in these final 3 overs. She's got plenty of options. It's nice to see Bindu back on the field. Suffered that nasty little moment. Knee getting stuck in the outfield, attempting to save a boundary. Good to see her back pretty quickly. Here's Sabnam. Well, that's good running in the end. She got into position and waited for an eternity to play the shot in mind. As it turns out, scampered single.
You can see why she played this shot, because there's a gap, but sometimes there's a gap because the ball is very difficult to get there. There's no pace on that delivery. Trying to get it up and over the wicketkeeper. you're actually in danger of just hitting a catch to that wicketkeeper. I don't think that she would have got it over the short fine. So I think she needs to rethink that option.
Yeah, the more productive run scoring option has been when they've actually not gone for the boundary and just organically it's gone in the gaps. It's almost found its way to the boundary. Perhaps if UAE are running out of time in their innings, they'll have to make do with what happens now. But Nepal should be taking notes. What's their method of trying to get to 115, 120, whatever they have to chase? I'm sure the coaching staff would be taking cues from how this innings has turned out. It was high percentage of boundaries in the first 5.
Well, I think one of the problems these days is that people spend so much time practicing their boundary hitting. There's not enough thinking about tactics. This is a big ground, 65 metres all around. You've got to be thinking pockets, 2s and 3s, and then when the bowler changes their plans, that opens up the opportunity for boundary balls.
That'll be in the gap. There is a boundary, a welcome one. This time Khushi goes for power, gets the result she desires.
A long languid swing from Khushi Sharma. Went down outside the off stump to bring the 100 up with this shot. A swipe across the line, but she had to create all of the pace. There was none from the bowler. Found the gap. And what a way to bring up your 100 as a team.
Given she's well set, that's a better option now. She understands the pace of this pitch. Attempting to try and use the pace and play the lap shot. Much better off. Even the miss hit is likely to yield you runs. If you're lucky, a boundary. She got a decent part of the bat on that. She's been around a long time, but that's only her second boundary. It triggers a change in the field. In fact, a change in fielders. Really good, really good. It's not a bad throw. This time they're alert to exactly what Izzy Joyce was mentioning. There's 2 on. There's 1 for the throw, almost always on this ground.
It's nothing against the fielders. It's the size of the boundary and the situation in the game as well. Have a look at Hina here. Comes back for the second. She wasn't too quick on the turn, but the bowler has to go towards the ball, which takes out the opportunity for a run out almost every time.
Turning out to be a good over this for the UAE. 8 runs, 2 balls to go. Those bails will have to be on the mark. The wind is challenging them. Well, we were into the 18th over and they'd only bowled the 1 wide. Now it's 2. Reasonably well disciplined. Understand what the bowler's trying to do at late stage of the innings.
Reasonably well disciplined. That's excellent discipline. Just 2 wides in the first 18 overs. Incredible stuff from Nepal.
A tough taskmaster.
Well, we talked about a change in the field. They did change the fielders there, but also long on has moved much squarer. She's almost between long on and deep mid wicket. So if you have the strength to go down the ground back over the bowler's head, that's really where the space is, but the lack of pace means that is a difficult shot.
More runs. That's good work in the deep. They once again run 2. That's 12 of the over. It's the most productive over of the innings. 2 to go. The UAE 106 for 5.
But I think that last shot shows you the skills of Hina. Her wrists are just incredible. She can hit the same ball to 3 or 4 different areas, and that's what makes her quite an exciting batter. This is the story so far. Isha Oza looked good before she was run out in a horrible mix-up between her and Tirtha Satish, who didn't seem to be able to forget that she'd run her captain out. She hit a cotton bowl to Parma, who's been the best bowler. Really no one's got going. Kanisha Kumari and Khushi Sharma the best partnership so far, but now Hina Hachandani joining the set batter. They're looking to see what they can make in the final 2 overs.
Yeah, Khushi Sharma would be relieved with results she got in the last over. Was trying too many things and not getting the boundary, then found it. I think if she stays now for the next 2 overs, UAE could well go past that 120 mark. Indu Barma will bowl out. Penultimate over of the innings. Long on, deep mid wicket, long off, sweeper on the offside. 4 fielders out. Slight delay. Umpires have had a challenge with bails having to be repositioned, and the wind has played its part. And the taken off immediately. Opportunity. We will go upstairs for the first time. Well, it was the side boundaries where the throw was on. The straight boundary is where you're calculating, you're gambling a little bit.
I still think it's the time in the game where you need to do this. She's just short. Unfortunately, her turn just wasn't quite good enough. Hina Chandani was just short of her ground. Was definitely on for the 2, but she just didn't quite make it.
Excellent work from the captain, though. Just initiated her part of effecting that dismissal. Second run out of the innings, the 6th wicket to fall. Pursuit of the extra run, Hina Chandani is run out. Good thing for the UAE is that Khushi will still be on strike. Chandani's gone, she'll have a role to play with ball later on. Bindu effecting the run out, 107 for 6.
Well, we talked about taking on the boundary fielders to the square boundaries, but not as easy to the straights. It did seem to take an age to get the ball after it bounced, but just about enough, and really good effect from the captain there as she took the bails, and she's managed to get the 6th wicket as well.
Bindu Raval would be pleased. Slight bit of pain turns into the pleasure of effecting a run out in the outfield. Now Vaishnavi Mahesh. X factor with the ball, can hang around with bat. Best of 16, that'll be handy if she can get a few going right now, at least get Khushi on strike.
No run, no run. Come on, Sati.
We'll have a look at this turn from Hina Chandani. Just not quick enough. Needed to be more athletic on her turn, and I think then she would have got home. But another wicket's fallen in the over as well. Unfortunately, it's the set batter. Khushi Sharma looked to do something funky. Went to the offside, tried to lift it over Fine Leg, who was in the ring, but just managed to find her. And she's caught. 7th wicket down.
Yeah, that option has just not worked for her. She'd be disappointed, bitterly disappointed. She was the set batter. Once again, very little pace to work with. It's also against the wind. Maybe in the other end could have possibly carried over. She laboured around for 36. She's gone now, 107 for 7.
I'm really disappointed with that shot, I have to say. I know I gave out about it the last over as well. Not enough pace coming off the pitch either, so sometimes you can play that shot against spinners if there is pace in the pitch. He shows that the captain there clapping her set batter, who's just got out probably at the wrong time, Khushi Sharma. New batter is Rithika Rajith. Her sister batted earlier on. Looked good while she was there before she heaved at a straight one.
She wasn't expecting 2 wickets to fall in quick succession. She's just run out. Gear just tossed into the helmet. She's going to be at striker's end. Rithika Rajith, we saw sister earlier on, batting 3. In fact, 3 sisters all capped for the UAE.
One Sati.
Ritika is the oldest of them.
Catch. Save karo, save karo. Batting in.
They've taken the second, they've taken the fielder on again. And that's just a better assessment of the second run. It's the square boundaries where you can always find the additional run off the throw.
Well, especially that boundary, because this is the boundary that has the wind coming from it. That was the wicket though, no pace, into the wind and an easy catch.
Yeah, Ritika, Rishita and Renita Rajit. In fact, the younger one took to cricket because she had family to play with. Many advantages of having multiple members of the family take up the same sport. Joyce?
Just a few of us playing in the back garden. We had the next door neighbours involved as well, so we almost had 11 aside when we were growing up back in Ireland.
It's been a really good spell from the Nepal captain. Last ball. And she finishes well. Excellent from Indu Barma. 3 for 19 of her 4, 19 gone. 110 for 7. She'll be very pleased. Won the toss, decided that her team will bowl first and effected 2 wickets in the power play. Important one as well of Kirta Satish. Managed her bowler as well. Finishes with 3 for 19, 12 dot balls in there.
She just changed up what she was bowling so often. Very difficult to line her up. 3 wickets for her, but really good from Chetri and Rana as well.
Kavita Joshi. She bowled her first over. She missed her run-up. Started this one fine. She's going to finish things off. They're going to push for 2. Animated in the field, Nepal. There was always 2 there.
That always makes me laugh. You have to accept that there should be 2s there. And they've actually got away with a lot in the game where they haven't been taken on in the field when they possibly should have. And it's just been really good intent, especially from Vaishnavi Mahesh. She's tapped in and turned and gone straight away. Easy to do in the final over, I guess.
She's just a typically chatty keeper. She wouldn't be the first, she won't be the last. Has an opinion on every ball, as most keepers do. But she's been good behind the stumps. Acrobatic save. She keeps the fielders alert. There were a few sloppy moments, but an all-round effort. You'd give them a good score. They've caught everything that's come their way, most importantly. It's big 4 balls, this. Nepal would not mind if they can keep the UAE score below 120. Well, that is not the brightest moment for the batter or the keeper, but it is the keeper who redeems herself. Just dozed off, did Vaishnavi. We're going to go upstairs, where what should have been an academic stumping, it's turned out to eventually be the dismissal, but only on the 2nd attempt.
Well, this isn't the most impressive cricket going around. The delivery was pretty good. She does tend to just drift the ball away, does Joshi. This one did leave Vaishnavi Mahesh. I think they're checking if the gloves were in front. Well, she's taken the bails with the gloves, so this could be.
Well, she missed it the first time, but she's effected the dismissal by uprooting the stump with the ball because the batter gave her all the time in the world. I think Vaishnavi perhaps just didn't realize that that ball has not been collected cleanly.
Well, you have to feel for Vaishnavi Mahesh because she would have looked around and seen the bails had been dislodged and thought that it had been done in the right way. So she just kept walking. But actually, the stump needed to be taken out, which it has done.
Yep, that's the law. Yes, we have young viewers watching. If you miss the ball and the bails are dislodged, stumps are broken, your next option is a fielder or a keeper. Uproot the stump with ball in hand. And we will therefore see confirmation, rather comical fashion, falls the 8th UAE wicket. Vaishnavi Mahesh gone for naught. The UAE now 1-1-3 for 8 with 3 balls to play.
Well, on first look, I thought, why hasn't she gone back into her ground? But it wasn't clear immediately that both bails had been knocked off by Shrestha. So you can see why she didn't go back into her ground, Vaishnavi Mahesh. And good thinking as well from Shrestha to take the stump out with ball in hand. So really quite comical stuff. Lavanya Kenny, the new batter, in.
Yeah, Lavanya Kenny is just 17. Mumbai born. One of the 7 members in this squad that were part of that Under-19 Women's World Cup, the inaugural one in South Africa, January last year. All right, 3 balls to go. And she nearly took off as well. Lavanya just talking up the keeper for her energy. She's missed a straightforward one, but good presence of mind. And you could see Vaishnavi didn't even turn back. She gave it up. In her defense, she probably felt she heard the thud of the ball potentially hitting the gloves. And she heard the bails clatter. She thought it was done. It's a young UAE team. Ahmed Reza will speak to them about game awareness in situations like that. Isha Oza's wicket 2 was an unforced error. Lavanya has done well to get 2 of that previous ball. So as we approach the final ball, 1-1-5. That is a really good final over by Kavita Joshi. And that means the UAE finish their 20 overs at 115 for 8 after being put in by Indu Barma, who won the toss, led from the front with ball, rotated her bowlers expertly. Now, first bit of cricket that we've seen in what promises to be an exciting Women's Asia Cup at this very ground. 115. How'd you be feeling about that, Izzy Joyce?
Well, 38 for 3 at the end of the power play. I think they will have been hoping for upwards of 120, but 115 not too bad for UAE considering their 2 big batters. That's Tirtha Satish and Isha Oza were gone very, very early on. So 115, I think they'll be confident they can defend that.
Yeah, they've got enough in their bowling resources as well. But for Nepal, it seems a pretty happy camp. It's one of those scores where both teams wouldn't mind it. UAE would have liked a lot more. But given that Isha Oza was run out, she's a big player, big part of the way a UAE innings shapes up. Tirtha Satish, her partner, followed soon. Lost as many as 4 in the power play. Partnership of 32 between Kavisha Kumari and Khushi Sharma steadied the ship. The big finish they wanted, though, didn't come. Another flurry of wickets towards the end. 115 is where they finish, with Khushi Sharma top scoring. Yeah, there's that one partnership of note. Khushi Sharma and Kavisha, 32-41. Hina did well, actually. Provided support when Khushi Sharma just shifted gears. Would have loved for those two to carry on till the end of the innings from a UAE point of view. Comedy of errors towards the end with a few extra wickets going, but 115 is where things finish.
Well, Nepal, they won the toss and elected to bowl, and they had a dream start after the run out of Isha Oza. She did score a couple of boundaries in this over, but then found the fielder. And they could have almost given a high five in the middle. She was run out by an absolute mile. Well, Tirtha Satish, she's a stylish batter, and she was dismissed, but not before Rajiv, who just missed a straight one. There was constant wickets really for UAE. It was the hot and bowl from Tirtha Satish. Just couldn't decide whether to go up or go down. They did manage to find the boundary in the power play, but also found the fielders. Whenever they hit it in the air, it always seemed to find the fielders. Indu Barma, the captain for Nepal, who's performed so well. There was a partnership in the middle, but wickets just kept falling for UAE. Couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, they started converting the ones into twos, productive area. This was a good bit of fielding. Might be the way to go. It was a nasty injury to Bindu Rawat. Khushi Sharma, just when she was about to give UAE the finish that she wanted. This was good work. Captain was in a good position to effect the run out. That's the top scorer. Khushi Sharma wasn't an option that worked out for her. Simplest of catches to Kritika. Really good effort to close out the innings as well. This was a... she just resigned halfway down. Did Vaishnavi Mahesh. Shrestha effecting the stumping on the second attempt. Indu Barma stands tall on that bowling card. The captain of Nepal, 3 for 19 off her 4. After winning the toss and deciding to bowl, she'll be pretty pleased with her performance. Let's hear from Marina Iqbal has her now.
Well, Indu, brilliant spell from you, picking up 3 wickets. Tell us about, apart from the wind, what the conditions were in the middle.
It's quite windy, so I get for medium paces, it gets a little bit moisture and the windy, so it helps the medium paces. So I took even 3 wickets.
Well, you mentioned at the toss that you would like to restrict them around 100, 150. You're happy with the target?
Yes, I'm happy with the target, but our batters also could make 100 plus. So I think it's good target.
Well, we all know that you love to read books. Any top picks for you nowadays?
Yes, there's the one book, The Winning Mentor. I guess I forgot the name books, but that's for the captain to get leadership. That's the book.
Well, that's a good selection. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Well.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to hear from Indu Barma. Conversation with Marina Iqbal. Could she be the captain to script a little bit of history for Nepal? If they can chase 116, that'll be their first ever win in the Women's Asia Cup. The UAE, higher ranked team, will look to defend that as the chase is coming up in Dambulla very shortly. Welcome back to the Rangiri International Stadium in Dambola. Opening game, the 2024 edition, the ACC Women's Asia Cup between Nepal and UAE. Group A action, and Hindu Burma's Nepal have kept the UAE to 115. The first 20 overs of cricket we've got in this year's competition. Can they potentially write a special story? Those passionate Nepal fans around the world have never won in the Women's Asia Cup. They're back in this tournament, a gap of 8 years. The UAE young side need to be sharper, better. Had their moments of disappointment, starting with the run out of the captain, Isha Oza. Kirta Satish followed soon after. Khushi Sharma did well, steadied the innings along with Kavisha Kumari. Otherwise, nothing much to write home about in what was an all-round effort by Nepal's bowlers to keep the UAE to 115. Got the great Mithali Raj alongside. 115. Happier team at half-time?
Well, the way UAE started wasn't an ideal way of starting their first game, but somewhere they've consolidated in the middle overs with that partnership coming in, and 115 I think is still a fighting total. It's not like a total that Nepal can easily chase, but again it is very important how UAE, the skipper, is going to use her resources to restrict Nepal from getting the target.
Yeah, I think we're in for a good one here. The UAE would know what's at stake. Just the one win in the last edition of this competition for them. They are expected to win this game. So they're going to give it everything, and Nepal would still feel they're in it. It's not been batted out of the game. Ranked 21st in the Women's T20I rankings. The UAE are high ranked opposition. Key is whether they can stay in the game when they start with bat. Hindu Burma was excellent. Cotton bowled of Tirtha Satish, was an important batter in this team. Simplest of catches as Samaira Dharnidarka was dismissed. Then the top scorer, Khushi Sharma, also holding out to Kritika Marsini. She was good as captain as well, just moved her bowlers around smartly, and that's something Isha Oza has to replicate. Also has resources in bowling department. Means extremely windy day.
I guess, you know, Hindu Burma has really bowled well, getting those 3 wickets. It all started with that skipper getting run out, and then everything else went haywired for UAE on an idle start. But Nepal here would be looking to use this opportunity, restricting UAE for 115. They definitely would want a win here. They haven't won any game in Asia Cup.
This is interesting. Samjana Khadka had multiple options on who to send out at the top. We'll just come back to that in a moment. We're going to watch the 24-year-old start things off. Samaira Dharnidarka batted at 3, but his responsibility with the new ball now. Isha Oza attacking with a slip in the first 6. Right, here we go. Just a hint of swing.
There is a bit of a swing there, but making the batter play the very first ball is quite impressive, because it's always important your first couple of deliveries should be in the spot, and that's what we got to see even in the Nepal bowling department as well as now.
Actually has her best figures against Nepal, Samaira Dharnidarka. 4 for 5 in 2021. first runs as the innings is underway, and that is very nicely played from Samjana. Just helped it on its way and it raced away for 4.
Bowling outside Ostam, you tend to play square of the wicket, and that's what happened. She just opened a face of the bat and got a boundary there. This should give the batter confidence because they are chasing, so they cannot really get the run rate down. They have to be scoring in and around the required run rate.
It's actually very clever. Saw a number of the UAE batters try to force the issue. It's big enough ground and good outfield. You trust the surface, and just helped herself to 4 without breaking a sweat. Settle the nerves. The opening batter of the dressing room. She's continuing to ask questions of that line outside the off stump. Is Samaira. Good response.
Well, I would have liked a close in there. I would have liked a slip there, because this is the first over, and the only way you could put a bit of pressure or a mind game on a batter is to just have a slip, if not for anything but only to play on the mind.
There still is movement. That's 2 plays and misses now. She reacted to the boundary. Anisha Oza needs to keep her calm. It's a big score if you make it 116. And you can see the experience now of Sita Rana Magar just going up to a younger colleague.
Yes, it does happen sometimes when a youngster plays 2-3 dot balls. It starts to work on their mind, and they probably might play a more predetermined, aggressive shot.
Runs and a handy boundary might have come off the pad. She went for the magical ball coming into the stumps and stayed in line.
That's a welcome boundary there, because after those 2-3 dot balls, getting a boundary of the ball that is bowled down the leg should have given a breather to the batter.
You could see what Samaira was trying to do. 3 outside the off. She's getting that natural angle tailing into the right-hander. Would have loved for that ball to start around off stump and attack the pads, attack the stumps. Just didn't get it. In fact, given his runs. So Samjana would take that.
Basami, good comeback goal.
Good start for Nepal. They'll really begin to believe. That sounded so good. It's a shame that perhaps the best shot of the overs actually yielded no runs. Good start from Nepal, 8 without loss. She's going to have to be at the top of her game as captain. Mithali Raj knows the importance of captain just being on top, not letting the rest of the team succumb to what could be pressure, expectation. High rank side already decided to move the slip away after just 1 boundary in the last over. Here's Kushi Mohan Sharma, good day with the bat.
Yes, Kushi there has a very good economy, under 6. She's played about 66 games and 48 wickets. Will she carry forward her performance with the bat which she's done into her bowling now? And a very contrasting first over for UAE and Nepal. You see UAE just got 3 runs and Nepal 8 runs. A good start for Nepal.
And it's going to get better, that start. That is going to be 5 very welcome extras. It's more than what Nepal conceded in their entire innings. The UAE, not the ideal start with the ball.
This kind of delivery, that to your first ball, I don't think, Nepal is feeling any sort of a pressure chasing the target, because they are getting freebies through these buys and leg buys.
That's much better line. What it also does is, with the blink of an eye, the target is into double digits. Just makes the rest of the batting feel a lot better. Already gone quiet, you'd sense the UAE. Here Nepal right throughout. So everyone was away. Keeper ensured it. In this case, the keeper's actually gone back. And it's a good option. There is movement.
I think when you have a low scoring, especially when you scored 115 and you're trying to defend it, your bowling has to be good. You cannot really give these free deliveries outside leg. But this sort of a line and length is what is expected of your bowlers if you want to defend a target like 115.
Yeah, nice carry. Tirtha Satish took the decision to come up to the stumps. The movement and the wind is always going to be harder. Sent back early in the UAE innings that started with a run out. Sitarani Makar is senior pro for this side. Most runs for Nepal. 863 going into this game. Most player of the match awards as well. Left hand option which will invite errors. We saw the first ball of this over. Yeah, plenty of bat. Oh, okay. No bat. Thought I heard two sounds. I'm not the one that matters.
I think Nepal so far is dealing in boundary. This is probably the only single which has come off the leg by. UAE here have to be a little more disciplined with their bowling. What's that?
Batter, just have a word with the umpire. You've deprived me of 1 run in my overall tally. Just a polite word. Right, a slip has come in place for the right-hander now. Cries for catch it, just short. Fielder at mid-off and it's even yielded a single.
So far, Nepal has got a decent start. 15 runs on the board. This was pretty far away for the mid-off fielder. And both the batters seem to be comfortable here. Partnership brewing here, about 15 runs. But UAE here has to get a wicket to get back into the game.
It's much better finish to the over from Khushi than how it started. 7 still a good result for Nepal, 15 without loss. Well, it's 2-1 in 4 matches, 1 washout. T20 eyes between these sides. As far as this competition goes, it'll be a special day. Word will spread as it does whenever the Nepal national team is playing, men's or women's. The prospect of significant achievement, first ever Asia Cup win, has at least started well.
I think never before have both the teams faced each other in this competition. This is the first time, and clearly we wanted a cracker of a game, and that's what we are getting so far.
You just sense that first wicket that you speak of, Mithali. It'll just get the UAE settled. And for now, you could see that Nepal are just helping themselves. They're doing much more into the extras tally. 7 already. We're just into the 3rd over.
I think the UAE bowlers are finding it difficult to counter the strong breeze, strong wind, if we can say, because most of the time when the bowler is bowling with the wind also, they are not able to bowl in the slot.
That is a glorious shot. There's a lot to like about Samjana. Plays with serious confidence, and that is a proper shot for 4.
Well, that was meant to be because it the bowler bowled outside off stump, but it was hit really hard. It was more of a eye-hand coordination here from the batter, and she found the right gap, dispatching it for a boundary.
They are off the blocks, and how Nepal? Now the target, 96 more to get. Into double digits it goes. Required rate of 5.38. And there's now a fielder at deep cover. It's better line, good adjustment.
Yes, Samjana now is playing with a very, very good strike rate of 144. I think the best so far, what we've seen of the UAE batters as well. And someone who's been striking the ball really hard, getting those boundaries through the gaps, and also is looking for a single. It's not like she's just stuck at her batting end. As soon as she defends, she's looking for a single.
There again, this will be at least 2. Yeah, she's been busy and positive. She's off to a flyer with the help of 3 boundaries. First one just eased her way. She found the gap, raced away. Umpire deemed this one had a little bit of bat on it. And no doubt about this one. Cracking shot through the offside. Yeah, the breeze you speak of. I think a lot of teams will take note playing in the afternoon. It's left to right on your screen, so it is aiding the natural swing and line that Dharnidarika gets. That's too wide. That's going to be another boundary. Well, Samjana has got Nepal off to a flyer.
A bit on the shorter side, the length, of course, the line was outside off stump, and she made good utilization of this ball. She hit really hard, and as soon as it's crossed the covers, you know that this is racing towards the boundary line. So far, Nepal has tried to play all grounded shots, Ronak, not really attempted to play over the fielder. That itself is a reflection that they have come prepared how they want their innings to be.
That's a really good point, and they're looking for those gaps that we were wondering why the UAE didn't try different gears. So Nepal's dugout has observed the first innings. You take a lot of notes in. This is an outstanding start, and it's being helped with more extras. In fact, it's been, I think, square leg has given that a no ball. Now it's been, standing umpire has confirmed it as wide. Yeah, that'll be a wide. Standing umpire gave it wide. Standing umpire gave it wide. Yeah, I think the other arm eventually would go out. Yeah, just spending a moment, both officials. Yeah, there we go. Nora Salima from Samoa has just got that right, and Gayatri Venugopalan standing end says it's wide. Otherwise it's a free hit.
I think in defense of Dharnidhar, I think it's a good attempt. You don't usually get to see someone attempting to bowl a bouncer, but she did. She might not have got it right, but at least there is an intent to try something different.
Yeah, just struggling with her line. Good pace. And she's getting movement. She just starts around off stump. Keeps the stumps in play. More evidence of really good running, as Mithali Raj was pointing out. Samjana knew exactly how well she hit it. And that's another productive over. In fact, still 1 ball to go. 2 extras in it.
I think these singles is what is going to help Nepal as well, because you have a lefty-righty combination, and once you, after a boundary, you take a single, then again the bowler has to change her line entirely for another batter to come onto the strike. So having a lefty-righty combination and working on the singles is great for Nepal.
Yeah, it's using that left-right hand combination to your advantage. If you have one batter stuck at one end, allows the bowler to settle in. Now there's a slip in place. The natural angle for Dharnidarka will be taking it away from Magar, like that. And she was hoping that the umpire would just be a little more lenient towards her. This over is taking an eternity for Samaira. It's eventful, but it is just way too many extras. 9 and counting.
Well, I think the skipper needs to come down and speak to the bowler, just to give her, to settle her nerves.
Okay, chance if she hits. Interesting, she went for the bowler's end. Well, that's another leg by, more extras. Nepal 30 in just 3 overs. What a good start this is for Nepal, and Kavisha Kumari will have to just try and pull her side back in the game. Thrown the ball, change up. Rishi Sharma just the 1 over. It's a good point you make about the captain. She just has to calm her young team down. It's one of the youngest sides in the competition, certainly youngest side in the competition, average age of about 21. Tirtha Satish is also playing her part. His keeper adjusting the field. It's going to start with a slip in place. Still inside the first 6. It's a good start.
I think yes, it's important here UAE tries and gets a wicket, because Samjana is playing on a different track there, with 20 of 12 balls, giving the right sort of opening partnership for Nepal when they are chasing 115.
And on the other hand, the experienced pro, the senior pro at the other end, Nepal were going at 10s. And Sitarana Magar is still to get her first run. She's faced 8 balls. You just don't feel the pressure because of how the UAE have been shabby, their lines. Perhaps here if they can string a few dot balls together, force an error. Such a good single again. And Samjana even non-strikers end, alert to the situation. Because I'm sure Mithali Raj knows of enough batters who run their runs well.
Well, you have batters who run others' runs well as well. But you need to have such players in, is because it helps when you're stuck on one end, someone else is making an effort to run your single, it takes you out of that zone. And that's what you see here, Samjana. What impresses me more is she's always ready for a single for 2s, and given a easy ball, she dispatches it for a boundary. So that's what is the makeup of Samjana there.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about her already, and she's already given them an impactful start. High impact start. They're striking at 153. And again, just the slightest of fumbles. It was hit well. Fielder to run around it mid-off, but she took off immediately, no hesitation.
And there was no hesitation from the non-striker as well, Magar as well, because she trusted her partner. And with the stroke, when you run, you are easily able to complete those singles. But if there is a little bit of hesitation, which we saw today in the beginning for UAE, where they lost the important wicket, then you end up losing one of your batter as a in a run-out form.
Yeah, it was the keeper who was the guilty party. All right, here is an opportunity. It's just not going the UAE's way. Landed right in the middle of bowler and keeper who were in pursuit. It's all happening for Nepal. The UAE is still in search of their first wicket, 33 without loss. Right, getting closer and closer. This evening's grandstand fixture. India taking on Pakistan in the opening game for these two sides. Group A action today. Women's Asia Cup. Shouldn't be long before we actually see the teams arrive. Action-packed double headers every day for the first 6 days. Now Hina Hotchandani needs to provide a breakthrough.
Well, if I was UAE captain, I would try and keep Magar as much as possible facing the bowler, because you need to have her on strike, so you sort of get some jana on the non-striker and not allow her to face too many balls, because she's the one who's at the moment scoring bulk of the runs for Nepal.
That's going to be another wide. Goodness me. That's 11 extras.
Come on, girls, come on!
I said that Nepal were reasonably disciplined, having conceded just 2 extras, and Isabel Joyce schooled me for it. You can see what she meant. It's 11, 5th over. How good were Nepal with the ball? Hina Hotchandani is a role to play here. Left arm spinner. We're all trying to figure that out. Yes, Hindu. It's a bit of wrist spin. Sometimes it's front of the hand. Maybe a left-handed carom ball. Sita Magar, with all her experience, doesn't mind. No tricks are going to fool her. Short, wide, punished for her first boundary.
You cannot afford to bowl too wide for a batter who's already struggling to get off, get some runs under her belt. And here they're giving her way outside, giving her the width to throw her bat. She fetches a boundary for Nepal.
Hina Hotchandani, best of 4 for 8 against Thailand. Kuala Lumpur, that day UAE had just 70 on the board, and it was her effort that allowed them to successfully defend it. She needs that kind of special performance here today.
Well, you can see the confidence in the shot, even though it didn't get her any runs. But after that boundary, you can see Magar showing the intent to score runs. And a very different field set, just 3 on the onside, the rest packed on the off.
Yeah, it's a great point. Left arm spinner bowling to a left-hand batter. You think that you're waiting for the batter to go across the line. Well, it's an assortment from Hina, and she has an offside dominated field. 6 fielders on the offside, forming almost a tight ring. Very unusual. So she's looking to buy herself a wicket, miss hit on the offside.
I think this is interesting, because knowing this is the last ball, strike is again on Magar. And Nepal is 39 for no loss.
Taking most boxes right here. As we say, is that going to be the first one? Yes, it is the first one. The wicket they wanted. The hope they were looking for.
Well, they needed a wicket. Maybe the change in the commentary boxes had the effect that UAE wanted. They needed a breakthrough. It's come at the right time. Kavisha, well, she bowled a good first over. Top edge and two fielders converging, but it's well taken in the end. Vaishnavi Mahesh sliding underneath that one takes a really good catch as Nepal lose their first. Sita Ranamagar goes for 7 from 17. A bit of a tough affair for her. Nepal 39 for 1.
$39 for 1, the wicket they were looking for. Otherwise, it looked to be a one-sided affair at the moment. 39 is what the score is. The beautiful game of cricket is always filled with twists and turns. Kavita Kumar walks in with an experience of 48 matches. In the commentary box, we've got Marina and Isabel.
Yeah, before that, Nepal was going with a pragmatic approach, just trying to slog it into the leg side way too early through the shot. Probably should have delayed the shot a little bit. Lack of spin, lack of pace actually has done the work.
Maybe she was thinking last over of the power play, capitalize on this one. Oh, well done. Beats are in the air.
Well, watching from the back of the commentary box, we were thinking no more seam, get all the spinners on, and it's paying dividends. I think that wicket actually, there was a bit of turn, but the lack of turn is done there.
I'd like to pick your brains on this one, Izzy. What do we expect from their spinners more? You've seen a lot of them.
Well, they're very canny, and I'm quite surprised about the wides that they've bowled, because they are adept at bowling to left and right-handers, and they've got lots of variation within the team as well.
Tossed up delivery, hits back to the bowler, well fielded.
You've got the tall bowler and Isha Oza. She'll bowl wide of the crease and she makes it difficult because she gets extra bounce, and you'll often see players going on the back foot against her and actually nicking off because they think it's going to bounce less than it does, and her extra height, and she bowls from a very high position as well. And then Vaishnavi Mahesh, I can't wait to see her, no doubt, outside the power play.
The biggest mistake, Marina, that Nepal can make is to think that they have it in the bag.
Well, as they say, it's not over until it is. UAE has all the ability to pull this match back. But I think right now, Nepal has the steady reins. Just keep on playing the shots they've been. They're very clear in the mind how they want to go about this run chase.
Also an invitation, make room and try to hit through covers. Create a chance for yourself then. Again, very well bowled. Good over this, successful over this. Power play, done, dusted, buried over. 39 for 1. We talk about the maiden wicket, the last over. Speak about the power play. It has been the dominance of bat over ball so far. Yes, it was a little fortuitous start. Wides and the extras, plus the willow too came into being, and it was Nepal right through till the time it came to the 6th over.
Well, this wicket really changed things because it's pulled power play right back, because at the same point UAE were 38, but the difference is that they'd lost 3 wickets. Can Nepal make sure that these two, that some of their top batters bat through and get them the win?
And now is your time. Power play is over, spread the field. You can have 4 players trolling the boundary line. And whosoever's there, short cover, short mid-wicket, make sure you don't allow those easy singles. Vaishnavi comes in, 17 years old, 69 matches. She made her debut when she was 12.
Yes, Vaish. Ay, come on, Vaishu.
That's a gift. Unwrapped, but still well accepted.
Oh, Vaish, Shubha, Vaish.
They need to be careful in bowling those line and lengths because Nepal, they're well settled in. Just waited for the delivery. Read it pretty early. Moved towards the offside and exploited the gap behind square.
Ay, come on, Vaishu.
Well, she's their strike bowler, so they've gone with a slip. But sometimes with leg spinners, in fact a lot of the time with leg spinners, they have a loose one early. So they might have gone with a bit more protection, waited for her to get into the over and then go on the attack.
Brilliant point that you make, because anything you bowl short, there's no mid-wicket. Mid-wicket is very frontish towards long on. Long on is very close to the side screen, very straightish. Something that Mahendra Singh Dhoni would set up for Pollard. Now this is another short delivery. This is another boundary. Back-to-back boundaries, and you are just releasing the pressure that you were trying to exert on the batters there.
We talked about strike bowlers, and Vaishnavi Mahesh is that for UAE. So you can see all of the UAE fielders' heads dropping as she's gone for back-to-back boundaries in her opening 2 deliveries.
Marina, when you're dropping that shot, at least you should be quicker through the air. Otherwise, if you just loop it up.
I'm not sure if she's completing her follow-through. You need to pivot, yes, but in terms to pitch it up, you need to have your full follow-through. It was dropped short and punished. And I think, guys, we need to cut that excuse out now for leg spinners.
A mistake is a mistake. A bad ball is a bad ball. Now, they've realized after 2 boundaries that, hello, we need a deep mid-wicket. Pitch it up. There you go. Oh, slip's got napping.
Yes,
Captain Oza. She'll be coming in to bowl very soon.
She's one of the tallest going around women's cricket, not just between these 2 teams, and she's quite high up here. It was very low, and actually it didn't reach her, so we'll let her off this one.
And no surprises, it didn't reach her. She's a tall girl, shouldn't be there. The slip cordon.
They always say when you dare crouch low, rise with the ball. Now she's come a step ahead than where she was standing. And more importantly, she should be crouching low and stay there, rise with the ball. There she is. Tossed it up yet again, well bowled. This is a better delivery. More importantly, the line is also better because you've got 5 on the offside.
Well, Samjana and Kavita, both of them look like they want to play on the back foot, so the fuller you can get it, the better. I'm sure we'll see a googly coming in soon as well. That's probably her best delivery.
Well, she's learned her lessons after those 2 poor deliveries at the start, but it has cost her initial 8 runs. They're coming back for 2. Will they come back for the 3rd? There's a chance, but she turned the wrong way yet again. And it's a double header start on the first day of the Women's Asia Cup right here in Dambula. The one that's coming up next. 50 up for the innings. And the biggie, it's going to be India versus Pakistan. 9th edition, 7-time champions India. We're taking on Pakistan, who never won the Asia Cup. And there is more. This is more than a game. Blockbuster, thy name. It's India versus Pakistan.
But lots of swagger between these 2 captains. We saw it earlier in the picture when they were with the trophy. And lots of competition as well. Lots on the line in that one.
Lots on the line. Everyone's excited for that one. And talk about this one. Pakistan beat India by 13 runs. As Marina looks at it and has a big smile on her face. This was in 2022, the last edition.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can repeat that tonight. It was a big win, obviously. They were clinical in all 3 departments. And if you have to beat and if you want to beat a side like India, you need to commit lesser mistakes, whether it's batting, bowling, or even in fielding.
Yeah, because when you talk about India, you talk about the 7-time champions. The only time they were not the champions was the time when they were beaten by Bangladesh, not once but twice. Once in the league stages, once in the big final. 2018 the year. Otherwise, they've won it in all editions. Head to head, when you look at it, in the Asia Cup. 6 times they've been at loggerheads, and 5 times India has been champion. Only time Pakistan's beaten India was 2022. So we'd like to take a prediction here before I go to Marina. I'm going to come to Madam Joyce. You want to take a prediction on that one?
Well, I'm going to just quickly look away from Marina here as I...
Did I feed a half volley to you there?
Well, look, I think India are in such great form. I can't wait to see how they go out here today. Pakistan are mercurial, so they have a chance, but I think it's India.
Marina is itching to answer that one. That is a good hit, but straight to the fielder, is it? Yes, that is wicket number 2. While we were building that big game coming up, this just might have produced a dent.
I need to be aware of the field placement as well. This wasn't needed from Kavita. They were going so well, just 5.7 runs per over. Just coming down the track, couldn't really get the hold of the shot. Picked up the fielder right away, and again the spin has been doing work for UAE. Nepal tends to lose a lot now.
Second wicket to fall. Kavita Kumar walks back, took 10 balls for 2 runs, 51. Indu Burma, she was there in the wickets column, and now the responsibility on her to finish the game for her side. The pressure was building on the batters. They went for a big shot straight to the long on standing there.
Well, sometimes in T20 cricket, when you're not finding the middle of the bat, you just need to start working the ball around. Unfortunately, the batter has decided to go big, couldn't get it over the fielder, and Kavita just had to go. 2 from 10.
2 runs conceded so far and a wicket. Good over this. Oh, wild heave yet again. The wicketkeeper looks convinced. They're going to the third umpire there.
It's all happening now. UAE would definitely be looking for the 3rd wicket. Nepal were way easy against the Pacers, but spin was always in a question in terms of how Nepal would go about it.
That's okay. All good. It's a fair delivery. The foot is out. Oh, it's a strong case there. If we have another angle, we'll have a better view. Maybe Justin.
We'll talk about your shoes helping you out. Those are very dark soles on those spikes, and it's very clear to see that she's just pushed her shoe back in. Very clever thinking, and something for cricketers around the world to note. Get the dark soles on your shoes and you get a good chance of being given not out, and it's been confirmed there.
Great point she makes.
Maybe one size bigger as well.
Because the line belongs to the umpire. Had the sole been of the same color as the line there, white, you never know what the verdict is going to be.
No, same.
As always, Isabel makes a great point. Good over this. A lot of questions have been asked. Batters have looked bothered. And the batters have been extracted out of their comfort zone. This over. Tossed up delivery yet again. Just a single. Overall, a very good over. 3 conceded and a wicket. 8 gone. 53 for 2. Right, Samjana is just holding one end there. 32 from 26 boundaries. Is she standing between victory and loss there? Will she be the one who will be writing the final script? Short delivery yet again. They've got a fielder there. Last over, same bowler conceded 2 boundaries in the similar region.
Well, this is a theme in this match, is not taking the second run out towards that boundary. She's got to not only deal with the spin here, she didn't deal with it as well as she would have liked. Bit of a fumble, and then she's got to throw in against the wind. So it was definitely 2 there, and they've missed out on 1, Nepal. It's just whether they can change that more quickly than we saw UAE doing earlier. They left it into the last 5 overs to really push the Nepal fielders.
What do you expect, Marina, from the depth of Nepal batting?
Well, I don't think they have huge sloggers or hitters, but what you can expect is just nudging around, picking up singles and doubles, and probably boundary every other ball. The thing I like about them is the clarity. Haven't seen a lot of jitters so far from them.
They've got a slip. They want a wicket. They are aggressive at the moment. Fielder at extra cover is there to protect the single as well. It's a quick start taken by the point fielder as well. They've cut down on those singles which were easily coming at the start of the first 4 or 5 overs. Was that intentional?
Well, she does this sometimes. Vaishnavi Mahesh. She just wants to see, is something going to happen down the other end? What's Barma going to do? Nothing, as it turns out. So I think she'll be happy with that. She gets to just pitch the ball up, not too worried about some movement by the batter.
And the batter should tell herself, calm is the best bum. Wrong one that. Read very well from the hand. Vaishnavi Mahesh, favourite cricketer Rashid Khan, Harmanpreet Kaur, Amelia Kerr. If not a cricketer, badminton player or chartered accountant. Favourite athlete, of course, current Wimbledon champion, Raz. Consistency. Isabel has not been her forte today.
Well, she does usually bowl a little bit quicker into the pitch, which is what we saw earlier on. This pitch, you need to bowl fuller, because I think we saw in the first innings as well, it sits up a little bit when you pitch it too short. But she still is very young. I mean, I can take what Marina said, which is don't give excuses to leg spinners, but at 17 years old, I think she's got pretty good control, and it's only going to get better.
The one thing I like now, she has a lot of protection, so that is out of her mind. She doesn't have to bother dragging it short, but still, the stock delivery is that just around the good length area, turning away if they want to get wickets.
But she can't bowl outside off now. No protection on the boundary line. There has to bowl within the stumps. That's extra pressure. Tosses it up. Luckily, it's straight to the fielder. Luckily for the bowler, not for the batter. Powerfully hit. They've still conceded a single.
Well, she has a really good action. What's really clear to see as well is how she finishes it off. Nice and tall over the top, and then that front foot coming around. So lots to like about Vaishnavi Mahesh.
Also, she doesn't finish in front of the umpire. Some leg spinners do that. Makes her way, goes to her left. 9 overs gone, 56 for 2. In the run chase of 116, 56 for 2, the first game of Women's Asia Cup 2024. We are in Dambulla. Beautiful country, Sri Lanka, beautiful city, Dambulla. The beautiful game of cricket. Up next is the biggie. India versus Pakistan. Lots to talk about, lots to share, lots to discuss, lots to enjoy. Oza comes in, is he?
Well, unless she changes a lot, which I'm hoping she doesn't, because I think her game plan will work really well here. 56 wickets in her 80 matches. Tends to hang the ball outside off stump. Just changes her pace ever so slightly, and changes her length as well.
Short delivery yet again. There's nobody there, and the ball will trickle down to the fence for 4.
That's a positive approach from Samjana. She has been taking the responsibility so far for Nepal. Anything drop shot, she makes it sure. She moves that back foot towards the offside, create that angle to exploit all those gaps on offer. Poor delivery to start with. You need to be more clear in terms of planning.
They'll have to start being less generous with those gifts. Not again. Fielder's there yet again. Fielder will just go and pick the ball. Same spot, same result. 4 more.
Well, it just looks like it's sticking in the hand for Isha Oza. How often do you see that if the batting doesn't go the right way for an all-rounder, the bowling sometimes goes the wrong way as well? No one out at square leg. They're going to change the field now and send someone out there. Every time they build a bit of pressure, UAE, they just release it again with some poor bowling. Back-to-back boundaries.
As a player, you need, as a bowler especially, you need to read the batter as well. Samjana, she likes to stay deep in the crease. And with Isha, she's a tall girl, she gets an extra bounce. That makes it easy for Samjana to exploit that leg side.
Oh, that is the highest score by any Nepal batter in Asia Cup. Jana is on 43. And she will understand her responsibility from here on. She has to go the full distance.
Well, highest score, but look how many balls she's faced. 43 from 25. In the context of the game, that's just incredible batting from the Nepal batter.
And while doing that, she's allowed her teammates to bat at any sort of pace that they want to. She says, because I'm taking care of the run rate. Who wouldn't want a partner like that at the other end?
The standout for me from that innings is that she clearly hasn't spared those bad deliveries. She made sure they went for boundaries.
No doubt about that. Loose ball is one thing, putting it away is another. A little quicker through the air this time around. Problem with the short balls earlier on, the first 2 ones, was that she just tossed it up and there was flight in the air, there was no pace. The batsman enough time to rock on the back foot and pull it away for 4. Then the irony was there was nobody there at deep backward square leg for that. Ditto planning. I mean, first 2 deliveries you get hit for 4, then you start. Probably they should be reminded that brain is an app, then they'll start using it.
Well, I think it's clear from the field that she wasn't planning on bowling either the line or the length that she ended up doing, but the nerves really coming in because UAE know what this would mean for Nepal to win this one.
They've never won a game in the Women's Asia Cup. Will this be the first one? 10 overs gone. Halfway down that innings, it's 66 for 2. And this is a drinks interval too.
Samjana Kharka is gunning down this target almost by herself. Not much support. Right of screen, she's been smiling and smiling assassin. She's just dished out any hopes that the UAE had of causing problems. They helped with their own downfall, heading in line, extras that take nothing away from Samjana. Every time there was a bit of width, cashed in, outscoring a more experienced partner, who eventually was dismissed. The introduction of spin. Avisha counting both wickets so far. And Vaishnavi Mahesh shows out have relied on her to cause more problems. So now the problems are for the UAE in spite of that second wicket. Unnecessary given how well Samjana was going. Close stumping call, survived. She's just carried on in her merry way. As Samjana, 7 short of 15 outs in a terrific innings. Hina Hutchandani will resume post drinks, and the UAE team had a chance to regroup. Animated discussions with the game on the line. Next 5 overs, pivotal. Have to get their tactics right. Deep backward square, deep mid wicket, long on. 3 fielders in the deep. That is with the wind, that angle. Sense the tension for the UAE and sense the tension next to me with the game coming up. Come to that in a second, but Ahmed Raza, animated figure, the head coach of the national team, former captain himself. And there is no one back on the offside, and a gap has been found once more. Good effort. She'd happily take 3. Arina Iqbal and Mithali Raj just observing proceedings. See something historic today. Nepal with the first ever win in this tournament.
Good effort at the end, but I think it should have been stopped within the circle. Just waited for the ball to pass. Nepal right now are way ahead of this game on 69 just for 2. UAE were 58 for 4. So definitely tension is in the UAE hut.
I want to ask both of you your fond memories of having a coach come in at the drinks break and just perhaps add a strong word. That coach is going to be more angry now. Yeah, I'm just asking Marina and Mithali, see these images? You could see Ahmed Reza knows what's at stake. They're expected to win this game. Everyone is fair play here. Even the captain. Mithali Raj?
Ronak, by the time I retired, I think this concert has come post that. So I'm happy that the coaches now can come onto the ground at the drinks break to give a bit of strategy and planning. But those days we didn't have the coach walking onto the ground. So I was spared of all of this. I don't know about Marina.
Marina had a different coach every day.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure to be played under a lot of coaches, and it didn't matter if they had the opportunity to walk into the field because you could hear them screaming from the dugout. And all I can say is that don't look under that rock, please.
He's a soft-spoken man, actually, Ahmed Reza. Yeah. He's just trying to make sure the game doesn't slip away, game doesn't drift. Another soft-spoken man in charge of the Indian team. Now, opportunity throw, keeper's end. Desperate dive. That saves Samjana. Throw been even a little more accurate. I think they would have found the wicket they wanted. Let's have another look here. They've run well by and large. Samjana has run really well.
It was nicely tossed up, just managed to dig it out. Hesitated for a while, but she made sure she dived at the end because she understands her role in this run chase. We would throw. Had it been close to the stumps, I think that would have been curtains for her.
Yeah, she saw the hesitation of her partner when she walked down for the first or ran down for the single. Then in turn, first time that we've seen her hesitate. Otherwise, she's run so well. Tali was making that point at the start of the innings. Let's hope that it's just the impact of the dive and nothing too serious. This is serious. Harmanpreet Kaur, Nida Dar, proud leaders, two proud cricketing nations. India versus Pakistan. Less than 2 hours from now. Should be long before the teams arrive here. Talk about the times, Mithali. Do you have the swagger with the shades on? Posing. Magnificent trophy in the middle. I think Harman wins that. I'm saying this objectively, Marina. Harman wins that. It's the Punjabi sort of feel she's giving it there.
Ronak, is it because of the shades you're saying?
I love the shades. I love the shades.
When you talk about Punjabi, there can be no more Punjabi than Nida Dar. She belongs to Gujranwala.
You've got a lot of it as well, I remember, yeah? Share Punjab among other things. That's for later. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Now you might think 73 for 2, it's all Nepal right now, it's only a matter of time. These games can suddenly explode. Good to see Samjana is all right. It's good take from Tirtha Satish, but we now have the extras go up to 12. And this is where you start seeing the end of finish line, see the job through. Push that one through, did he not? Still cost 8, that over. 74 for 2. Free entry, and Dambola, or anywhere in this part of the world, drive down, make the trip. Magnificent venue, breezy day, it'll only get cooler, sunsets. Attendance is free for the crowd, so come in. India Pakistan coming up for now. Exciting climax approaches as Lavanya Kenny has thrown the ball. Gone! Gone! Change of bowling works. It's the captain taking the catch. Well, against the run of play, Burma is gone as Lavanya strikes with her first ball.
Yeah, just might have to go up and check about that catch, but it was spectacular. Not easy for Isha, she's a tall girl. Again, just stuck into the surface, I reckon. Wanted to play the cut shot. Just ballooned it up. It's perfect. It's brilliant from the skipper. They needed it. Because at this time, they want to put Nepal on the back foot. They've managed to get a breakthrough here. Hindu Burma, captain walks away on 6. 3 down for Nepal on 74.
Rubina Chetri. Nepal would have no other batter walk in this situation. Plenty of experience and ability. Big 6 hitter. And she's in because her captain has been caught by her opposite number, Isha Oza. Very good catch. Had to use every inch of that extra height that she's gifted with. Important catch, might lift UAE. Perhaps needed a moment of magic. Batter would be disappointed with that.
Yes, Ken, come on, girl.
Yes, because that was way outside off and too short. And that's where she's given her wicket. And as we talk, this goes for a boundary. I think this is where UAE bowlers have faltered, is because they've given too many short balls way outside off stump or down the leg side. They've allowed the momentum to go back to Nepal. You just got a wicket. You cannot afford to bowl short pitch balls for a new batter.
Yeah, that's a gift for Rubina. She's too good to miss out. 10 fours now. That's as many as we had in the first innings. We're just into the 12th over, halfway through the 12th over. Accumulation of consistent pressure has been missing. That's clever, that's cheeky. Won't go for 4, doesn't have the legs, but he'll do it in 1s and 2s happily. Required rate just a comfortable 4.2. Ravina Chetri has the ambition to play in the WPL or the Women's Big Bash. Cristiano Ronaldo, not sure how I feel about that. I'm a Messi fan myself. That's a really productive finish to that over. Still 1 ball to go. Come on, I'm taking votes in the com box. Ronaldo, Messi.
I'm a Ronaldo fan.
Ronak, don't worry, I'm a Messi fan.
Thank you, Mithali. Very good. Excellent. It's getting messy for the UAE right now. 9 runs in spite of the wickets. A good stuff from Nepal. They are just 33 away from what will be a memorable win. 83 for 3. How well is Samjana played? Blazed away, striking at 154. She's there from the start. Can she see it through to the end? Head to head is 2-1 to Nepal. Mentioned the UAE ranked higher, so close to making the Women's T20 World Cup. The better of Nepal qualifying tournament. There's another conference for the UAE. Tirtha Satish has a lot to do here. She's the under-19 captain. She's constantly been advising Isha Oza. And Hinduja Nandakumar is the 8th bowling option. Went to the 13th over. It's worked for her last time. Previous over, she threw the ball to Lavanya Kenny, wicket of the first ball. She's thrown it to another bowler now. 25 wickets for Hinduja. Keeper standing up. Samjana 2 away from 50.
Yeah, if UAE wants to win, they need to take wickets. Otherwise, it's easy cruising for Nepal. They've been clinical about this run chase so far. Anisha would have to rely on the bowlers who can provide that breakthrough, can be consistent, because right now the margin of error is very small for UAE.
Now she's called for 2. Besides against it, she just put in a desperate dive a few overs ago. And she's 1 short of 50. The game is very much under control. She's happy to settle for 1.
I think more than anything, UAE here, as and when they get wicket, they should continue that pressure on. They release that pressure so easily with the extras or with giving a boundary that they are not able to hold the momentum for too long. And that shifts to Nepal.
Are their nerves? 24-year-old Samjana Khadka, 1 short of 50. Very well past her highest score in 16 T20Is before this. Surprise decision to see her at the top of the order. Average is just 7 going into this game. Don't worry about all that. She has played special innings here. Just walking across and picking those up and dispatching them to the boundary. Perhaps she understands that this is an emotional moment. .50 for Samjana Khadka. Her first in T20Is. The first for a Nepal cricketer in the Women's Asia Cup. And the first of the 2024 ACC Women's Asia Cup. What a wonderful innings it's been. This 24-year-old star. That average and that strike rate is only going up.
Impeccable innings from her. Absorbed all the pressure. She came out, took this opportunity to make an impact, and she did. Batted with flair, batted with confidence and clarity, and gave Nepal a hope to chase it down.
She's almost taking them home. There's 29 more to get, 87 for 3. Moment for Samjana Khadka. 50 out of the 87. It's her first in international cricket. She's getting desperate now, is Isha Oza. She's thrown the ball back to Kavisha. Standout bowler, 2 for 6 into her last. That's all they need to do. Rubina knows, bringing in her experience. And what a moment for Samjana. It was shared with emotion. Hindu Barma, the rest of the Nepal team. Rubina gives her all the love that she deserves. First international 50. Mithali Raj had 85 in her international career. Goodness, 85. That'll be 1. Remember the first, Mithali?
The first T20 50.
It's the first time you got 50 international cricket.
I think that would be
Yes, goals,
2000 ODI World Cup. Yeah.
The emotions? Emotions coming out at that time? Oh, gone! Gone, gone, gone! Not long to celebrate Samjana's 50. Rubina, just as Nepal cruised to the finishing line, has been cleaned up. Kavisha is the standout bowler. Captain threw the ball and she has delivered.
Important one in terms of the context of the game. Rubina just again hopping on the back foot. It was quicker through the air, aiming the stumps. That's important for UAE bowlers, especially the spinners. They are disappointed. They'll have the hope. 4 down as Rubina walks on 10. 89 for 4 Nepal.
Yeah, experienced player. Potentially, could that still put some life into this game? Is there another twist? Right, out walks Pooja Mahato. just 18 years of age, youngest member of this Nepal squad. She just heard Tirtha Satish communicate that she doesn't want to give the easy single to the new batter.
That's not your line.
She's absolutely spot on. Quite a few fielders right at the edge of the ring on the offside. They could come in. It's now or never for the UAE. Couple of wickets and suddenly that Nepal dugout will have a very different emotion to the one it had a few moments back. Not Kavisha's done well. She's attacked the stumps. Here's the wicket.
Yeah, I think that was far quicker than expected by her, and she couldn't really cover the line. And very important wicket there. But most important here is, will UAE, as usual, when they got a wicket, they should not let go the momentum here. And it was so good to know that they've got a short mid-wicket, because usually for an off-spinner, that's a region where you get those singles going. Now they have a short mid-wicket in place. They have the in-circle, trying to cut those singles, not giving. And then you see this runs going finer through the third man.
Yeah, real shame that didn't have a slip. Finishes that spell off with a boundary, but it is still an excellent one from Kavisha. She's kept her team in the game. 3 for 12, 93 for 4 Nepal. Right. Samjana is the difference between the two sides for the moment. Took strike, got the innings underway. A few gifts down the leg side from Dharnidarka. But every time there was width. Hit the ball so sweetly, picked her spot. Vaishnavi Mahesh put under pressure straight away. She's got here without breaking a sweat. Run so well. What you won't see in that little highlights clip is how well she's run in between those boundaries. Now, can she just finish the job? Duja is going to continue. Boundary of that last ball just eases things again. That's in the air, and in between the two fielders, they chose to run around it. I think with the state of the game, someone just had to commit, get as close to it as possible.
Well, you need to make an attempt for a catch here, even if it is falling short. At least go and attempt, because sometimes these catches just get stuck into your hand. And because it is about Samjana, the batter who's been scoring the bulk of the runs for Nepal, it is very important for the UAE team as a whole to understand that even half chances matter.
Ariel beats the point fielder. Won't run away for the boundary, but they will pick up a definite 2. Well, the only way UAE can win is if they can pick the remaining wickets. Otherwise, it's hard to contain those runs. Just 19 needed of 34. And Samjana is out still in the middle on 55.
She's been the pillar. No doubt about that. She's held one end together, and the strike rate with which she's played, it's been just amazing. Also given the liberty to her partners to bat at a leisurely pace, the pace that they've loved. Samjana goes now, and suddenly there'll be a lot of problem for that side. Because that one thing has happened, wickets have fallen just from one end. You never know. Things can get very tricky, though they need only 19 from 34 balls. It's a powerfully good effort, but initially looked like a very good effort, but just diving over the ball is a very crucial boundary.
That's one area UAE needs to work on. He did put the effort on, but it was quite delayed effort, just diving over the ball, as you mentioned. He's targeting the simple areas now, going straight. It was pitched up. You can see the frustration and disappointment. These are the small things as a team you should be concerned about. You should put effort, because fielding is one area where you individually can improve.
convert the 2 into 1.
Only one comes.
Be the bowler's best friend. Each of you has a role to contribute in the centre. And that fielding has really let them down. Talk about the freebies that have been on offer. With a score when you're defending only 115, you should have been tight and bright.
Yeah, Isha Oza will have a lot to think and reflect about after this game, and even if they win from here, I think the fight Nepal has put a lot of pressure on UAE. Brings up the sweeper from the cover now to restrict that single from the offside.
Not a bad thinking. At least they'll be able to extract the pressure, and they're telling the batter here, come on, take your chance, hit us for a boundary.
And new batter is on strike, and the thing I liked about is how active Satish is behind the stumps. She's being proactive, talking to the captain, talking to the fielders, making sure that they all are focusing on the very present moment, not giving away this game.
Well bowled, and the good thing is when she's got this field, 5 on the offside, everyone inside the circle, you can't afford to go outside off. 15 gone, 102 for 4. And a thriller to the core that awaits you. Passion will scale new heights. It's going to be camera action and the lights. India versus Pakistan.
I need to steal your diary, right? You've been playing with the words so superbly. But yeah, looking forward to this clash, and had spoken to Nida and heard her interview. She's all up for winning this game. The sort of character she is. The numbers, yes, they don't reflect the talent and potential Pakistan have. But you need a special performance, a disciplined performance against India to beat them.
Yeah, sometimes sport can be about struggle, about deadlocks where nothing seems to happen in spite of much effort. But the moment you start to enjoy, results start to follow. Will that be the message? Just go and enjoy?
Yeah, I know the team, most of the teammates, they do enjoy, but that belief that they can beat India, that's where at times they do lack. When they gave away those crucial moments, that's where they need to focus. They have all the potential, they have the ability, they have the passion, but just that pressure handling, as I mentioned earlier, that's where the difference comes.
Focus like a laser, not like a flashlight, especially against India. Off the back foot. And all that the fielder at the boundary line will do, fetch it and bring it back. This is a brilliant shot. And this closes the gap. Only 10 required from 28 balls now.
That has been the story for the day. Width given and has been punished. Each and every batter made sure the ball traveled to the boundary. If it's pitched outside, off stump, it was dragged short. Easy pickings for the Nepalese batters right now. Just 10 needed, and they are approaching the history.
10 of 28. Mind you, they played 8 encounters in the Asia Cup. A win has eluded them for a long time. Deduct 2 more from 10. This is a good effort. If it's good running, they can come back for the third. They are coming back for the third. Good throw would have resulted in a wicket falling. But that is not the case. For the moment, enjoy what's coming your way, Nepal. Only 7 runs away from a well-deserved victory.
Well, fortune favors the brave. And I think we have to give the credit to the batters, how they approach from ball 1 till now. A lot to think about fielding and also the game awareness from UAE. But look at that. Exuberant. They know they're closing in for a win. First ever win in Asia Cup against UAE. And hats off to Sanjana. She's been brilliant.
No doubt about that. Not just the runs she scored, but in the manner that she scored those runs. And at the other end, wickets have fallen, but she has just been there like a rock. She's unmoved, undeterred. I mean, unflappable temperament that you can call it. Solidity to the core. You speak about the finesse, the flair, the class. She's all had it today. Dances down the track. Takes the head off for a bit.
She's been superb. So far in this innings, I haven't seen a false shot from her. Picked up the length, picked up the ballers nicely. She knew where the gaps were. She ran well. between the wickets. And that's all you need from one person who can take the responsibility and at such a young age.
Tossed up delivery yet again, onto the left of covers yet again. Sweepers there. Previous time, oh, they're coming back for the second. No, they're not. For a moment, they were interested. She wants to be on strike. 4 runs required from 25 balls.
I think for a moment they got jubilant from all the shouting from the dugout. At times you do get overconfident.
Wrong one, reads it from the hand, but look at that misfield. They'll give them a chance to come back for the second. If they run well, will there be a chance of a third? No, it's not. This is happening all too quickly. 16 gone, 1-1-4 for 4. And whenever you speak about humdingers, you speak about certified blockbusters, you always think about just one clash. And that clash is, well, minutes away now. India locking horns with arch rivals Pakistan. This is where you're going to see it on the Star Network. Last time Pakistan beat India was in 2022. India can't forget that. Pakistan too should remember that, because you need to go in to a contest such as that with happy memories.
Yeah, that was a huge boost for Pakistan, and even for Nida Dar, she did mention that she was happy she was a player of the match. That gives a boost. They need to carry that momentum.
Oh, talk about that innings. Talk about the flair, the class, the dominance, the drives. Anything outside off has been driven through covers. Anything on the stumps has been dispatched with disdain. She has pulled with elan, and she has stayed there at the crease, as solid as a rock. Stroke making, shot selection, and that is the win. A win that has eluded them for so many years is finally theirs to hug. Victory is sweeter when it comes after a lot of struggle. Enjoy this moment, Nepal. It belongs to you. Hug this win, Nepal. Tighter. It belongs to you.
What a moment. They have written the history here. The first match of the Women's Asia Cup, Nepal has beaten UAE by 6 wickets. And you have to give credit to that 24 years old Samjana, scoring 72, just a 45. She absorbed all the pressure, took the responsibility, and these are superb scenes. They deserve that win. They were clinical in bowling, fielding, and look at that. What this means to them, you can see that on your screen.
Oh, they've waited, they've tried, they've failed. But as they always say, a failure is not somebody who falls. A failure is somebody who does not rise after falling. It is impossible to live life without having failed at something unless you live it so cautiously. You may not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. You brave hearts, you deserve it. Let those tears flow. Let that win come and embrace you one more time. Look at that. How much it means. This is an ocean of emotions at the moment, and we can understand it. Who better than you to tell us?
Oh, I can feel the goosebumps right now. The Nepalese have been creating ripples all over, whether it's men's cricket or women's. And what we witnessed today is nothing short of superb effort from Nepal. They believed it. They executed it in the middle. You can see those tears from Indu Burma. She said that it is a chaseable target, but the batters need to deliver, and that's exactly what Samjana has done.
72 runs, 45 balls, 11 fours with a strike rate of 160. You would love to take a look at that winning moment yet again. Short, she swivels, she pulls, she gets a 4. That is a victory we've been waiting for so many years. The fist pump is out. The jog turns into a sprint, and why not?
That flag deserves all the hype tonight, today. Deserves this. You can see the emotions. They've worked so hard over the years to reach and to celebrate this very moment. Each and every player believed in their team, in their ability, and they have delivered for their nation.
From this day onwards, they'll feel better about their ability, because they finally got the win. Because sometimes what a loss does is, it can deplete your strength and your motivation. But here, they have embraced the win, and suddenly the belief will come back, and the motivation will be back. They have gone past superior opponents because they played like a unit. Strong alone, unstoppable together. Alone you can do so little. Together you can do so much. The power of unity, the power of Nepal.
It's just the beginning for them. Just the beginning. You can see a lot of potential there. And rightly so, they have delivered it. Writing the history. UAE, on the other hand, will have a lot to think about in terms of batting, bowling and fielding. But that 124-year-old, what a superb